We live?
We're live.
Let's fucking go. We live?
Yeah, we are. Look at that. Sound on and everything.
Lovely.
Look at the lower thirds. The lower thirds HZ logo, by the way.
I don't even have the fucking page up.
Might be easier to just go to higher.zip, honestly.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
I want to see what that looks like on there.
Nice. See, yeah, that looks good over there. I love that.
And it goes, I honestly, I have some explorations I've been doing with the circle. I'm going to show them to you guys over the next few days, but this is one of those. And I was like, oh shit, this is like, if we go in on the circle, bro, there's a lot of stuff we could do with that.
Yeah, the circle is really awesome. I'm impressed, bro. You knocked it out.
Speaking to about things that we've talked about before, probably is like this is something that I've been sitting on, looking for a reason to use it. It's not like I just made this. I just like had this sitting in my fucking archives, and I'm like, wait a second. I was like looking at old work. I had applied it to just like photos I had before, and it's like it's fine on photos, but it like doesn't mean anything necessarily. So I just had it like sitting on deck, and then like when the circle thing, I was like, oh shit, wait a second, connection, you know?
Yes. It feels right. It gives like a, what does it have? It has kind of like an extreme sports vibe to it, which I love so much.
ESPN vibe, kind of.
Yeah, or like Red Bull. It feels a little Red Bull to me.
Yeah.
I was just watching Natural Selection. It's the kind of backcountry ski and snowboard competition. And I just love the way they have these graphic elements. And then the next day you shared that, and it knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, those stingers, those little stingers. I feel like ESPN kills it with the stingers.
Stingers. Yes, they probably do.
All right, I put your also little late addition, but I put your forecaster name on the thing too. We're all labeled now, by the way.
What?
Looking fancy.
I reject all labels.
Too late.
Oh, it's CLFX. My bad, dude.
So
It seems like Cam's getting a couch delivered.
Oh shit, big moves.
Wait, really?
I don't know if we want to.
Is that a joke?
Should we? No, it's not a joke. I think he's actually getting a couch delivered.
Of all times.
I love that. I love that so much.
I mean, he should be pointing the camera at that, honestly.
Yeah, that's the stream for today. Well, should we pause or what?
Well, no, I reckon we can just start talking about what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. Big week, boys. Big week.
Big week, man. You got married, first of all.
Okay, well, yes.
Huge congrats.
Thank you. But besides that, right? HZ001, complete. 25 entrants. Fucking banger videos. Gas.
Hell yeah.
So cool.
It's exciting. Impressive turnout, honestly. Was a little worried that maybe we wouldn't have the reception that we wanted, but people showed up. It's badass.
Actually difficult to pick a winner. Actually required some thought.
Actually, yes. Should we go through winners then?
Yeah, I'm done. Wait, the other big thing that happened is the voting for the, right? Are we allowed to?
Party prop.
That?
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
Party prop. Huge. Massive.
So yes, very large week. That just
The biggest in higher.zip history.
So far.
So
Go for higher, if you will. But yeah, that's awesome. That reminds me, I need to connect with Six and Martin to execute, no? Martin said something about needing a third host. I don't know. We'll sort it out, but who cares? Past, up only.
Let's go. Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, we were gonna go over the
No,
HC001.
you're good. You're good. Okay. So after much, what's the word? Not collaboration. There's a better word for that. But after much discussion, we settled on 3 winners. In no particular order, we have S.G, Will Diaz, and Cactus Lockwood. Good shit, y'all. That was amazing. All 3 of those videos are bangers in their own right. All 3 of them approaching this in a different way. What together means conveyed in a variety of, what would you say? A variety of media, which was great. We saw AI.
Medii? I'm just
Medii? Mediums. But yeah, iPhone, AI, you name it. Some animation. It was fucking awesome. But yeah, so top 3 will be splitting the 150K prize pool. So 50K each. And then every entrant will be splitting the initial 150K. So I think that came out to 12K higher each.
Nice.
So that'll go out today. You'll receive that from the HIGHER.ZIP Forecaster account via noise tips. So
Hell yeah.
write an app, which makes it easy. The two folks that submitted on Twitter will receive a DM in order to sort that out. But hopefully we can streamline that in the,
We
I don't
definitely
know.
should. Yeah.
I don't know how, but we'll figure that out to make it kind of seamless.
Yeah. That's another episode probably, but yes, we need to figure that out. Just like a simpler way.
Ooh.
But if you're not on Forecaster yet, like what you do in the higher channel is kind of where it's all happening. So
It's true. It is true. And so maybe there is that angle where you have to post it in the channel, and then the HIGHER.ZIP account on Twitter, as well as the main HIGHER account, can kind of handle whatever that distribution looks like. You know, sharing either the winners and or, you know, maybe even more than the winners, just to amplify, I suppose.
yeah, I think definitely because even though we had to pick 3 winners, like there were more than 3 good videos that we got, and you'd want to share them really as widely as possible. So yeah, I think, you know, it's some of those. I mean, honorable mentions for me. One of my favorites was Chatra's softball one. That was a fun video for me. I think he was the 3rd submission. And Genuine Jacks felt a bit like a meditation to me as well, which is my bias.
Don't disagree with that. I think both of those are beautiful for their own reasons. Chatra was bringing so much energy with that video.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, it made me want to be at that game, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, come on. That's Higher Together, honestly, because he created something that made me want to be there, you know?
True.
That, I think, just nailed it.
But yeah, we shouldn't go to those. We should talk about the winners a bit more, I think, also, because we did pick them for reasons.
Yeah.
True. We shouldn't screen those or no? No, I guess we could just talk about them.
We can talk about them. I think, you know, people will be able to find them on Forecast soon when we we make that announcement post.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I can draft that here shortly. But to your point, John, the S.G Epic,
Epic.
the vibe was just
chef's kiss.
Yeah, refined in such a way that just felt obvious, even though it's not, you know. And it's just, I don't know. I always keep coming back just to that ending because it's like,
Right.
what's gonna happen, and then
it's in
finally,
the whole narrative. Yeah, it was like, oh shit.
Yeah, there's a story.
Exactly.
There's a story there, and visually beautiful.
I'm gonna test out a sound effect real quick.
I can't hear it here.
Oh,
but
okay.
If they can hear it on stream, that's good.
Yeah, I think they can, but damn, the Google Meets thing probably blocks out the noise.
Yeah. What was it?
It was applause. Like a studio audience applause.
Nice. Deserved.
That's
Anna's was somewhat similar as well. Worth mentioning. A story captivating in that sense. And super cool. And I hope that I'd like to see both those stories continue actually. That would be super cool.
Yeah, true.
Agreed. The Anna's was so, I don't know, it felt professional in a way, like it was so high level and immersive. I'll say immersive. I think that's the right word. But to your point, John, it's like once that beam flies up into the air, I'm like, you can't end it there.
Yeah.
It's just a teaser or what? Like, just getting started. It's awesome. It was great.
A bit of a cliffhanger there, but maybe that's why it's good also, because it's like it keeps us like wanting more, you know, like, ooh, can't just stop there.
It was, yeah. Well, and you guys were talking about this a couple weeks ago about the idea of like a trailer, and hers, as well as S.G, those felt like trailers.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it just needed some like bold text and like Christmas 2025 at the bottom. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm there.
Yeah.
Who else did we had Will Diaz, absolute banger.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best skaters on Farcaster. And obviously creativity doesn't stop there. The video was, well, there's two videos. The one I'm referencing is the second one that he shared, which is a little bit slower tempo. Use of slow-mo on a meaty, fakey kickflip. Absolute banger. The editing with the two characters kind of combining. Absolute class. And the audio was banging too.
Yeah.
The audio was good. Actually, I've been impressed with the audio from like most of the submissions, to be honest. I didn't really expect to get audio.
Yeah, true. And also I feel like we didn't specify, and I feel like typically video makers treat audio as like a secondary component, and I feel like everyone here that is like front and center, honestly. Like everyone definitely worried about the audio. Yeah,
exactly. Because if I had submitted, I wouldn't have even thought to put audio to it unless I was doing like a iPhone video. But I wouldn't have thought about it, so I was shocked. It was nice. It's really nice.
I like that it was real life as well. Not to knock the AI ones or the animations or anything else, but it's definitely cool to have both elements represented.
Yeah, I think having that variety amongst these submissions was really fun. And I think that's a testament too to us kind of keeping the requirements vague enough, right? I think that's probably important for us moving forward, unless we have like a super specific idea. But to your point, I felt it was more fun going through them, not knowing what I was going to get, really.
Yeah. There were some questions that came like, what should I do? I tried to answer them in vague terms. I think overall everyone came through with something that like reflects them, which I think is probably the most important thing, like an expression of their own kind of like practice or creative practice of some kind.
Yes. Well, yeah, that was noteworthy about like Julie, his submission, which unfortunately wasn't long enough, and he admitted that, but it was awesome. It's just like his regular life. That's just what he's doing, and that video just happened to apply. I'm assuming it just happened to apply. Maybe he set out to go do that for the video's purpose, but I thought it was kind of beautiful that it's just like, yep, this is my life, and this is what Higher Together is for me.
Yeah.
Great. Back to the audio conversation. We've got Cactus Lockwood with some of the most dynamic audio, in my opinion, we saw from this first mission. Dynamic and dramatic, I will say. Just really, really compelling. Like I even messaged him this. The intro was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
The way that in a sensory way, but also when it hits that final HZ and the dot turns red and it says record.
Yeah, that's fire. That was fire.
Dude, that's insane. Like, it could have ended there and I would have loved it. You know? It was just the intro. It's so fucking genius. That was a genius moment.
Yeah, that was lit. I really like that moment.
It's another one of those things that just in hindsight seems so obvious. You know, but I had tried to do something with the dot. I put like a triangle in there for like a play button, but it was too kitschy. And then I watched that and I'm like, dude, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Done. Hats off.
It's like subtle, but like high impact. Yeah.
And smooth.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that moment. And also, obviously the core of the video that follows fire as well, you know, like all the faces and shit. Yeah.
And then he throws in the frog.
It was like an X-ray good. Frog or like a ghost frog or something. It was fire.
Yeah. I know it. Glass alien frog. I don't know, but that killed me. I loved it. Yeah, good job, Cactus. Yeah, banging winter section. Like you said, Brian, difficult to choose. What else?
Yeah.
What else we got? Yeah, and Dimitri's. I'd like to mention that one. You know, as always, Horse Master did not disappoint. Just vibey. It's like relaxing and inspiring at the same time.
Mad logic, staying on the horses.
Yes.
Unfortunately, late submission, but very welcome submission. Super cool. Super funny in a way. Yeah. I want to see more, really. It was one of those ones I want to see more of. Yeah.
Agreed. It looked really good.
Yeah, it looked so
like
good.
My brain wanted it to
glitch
not
out or
make
something.
sense, but it made sense. You know, like it was such a weird tightrope to walk, which I don't know, is so entertaining.
Yeah, that was also I remember watching it for the first time is what I thought too. I'm like, oh, this is gonna break. There's no way I can figure out how a horse is gonna ride a fucking skateboard, and it didn't break, and I was like, whoa, all right, this show's nice.
And then it runs up, like I thought it was gonna run into the ramp and like glitch out, but no, went up the ramp, came down the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, there's something here.
Yeah.
That was maybe one of the most fun ones, I'd say.
I agree.
Just like a smiler. You're just smiling. It did make me think, well, changing the subject slightly, it made me think watching the Will Diaz submissions that this homie needs some higher merch.
Mm,
I'm gonna send him like a package to just skate in,
that's sick.
because if you go as far to make a higher skateboard, you know, it's like that's dedication. Let's get you some more shit.
Yeah. That's
Honestly.
true.
And I mean,
oh, go on.
no, please go ahead, John.
I was going to just go into some more honorable mentions.
Do it.
Yeah. So Asher did the HBs. Super cool. Love the HBs. The latest collection still hasn't minted out, so you should probably go and mint that until they run out, because they feel like canon, or they're getting there at the very least.
Yeah, agreed. And if they're not minted out anytime soon, I'm going to buy all of them. So I don't know. I give it maybe another week before I just buy the rest of them.
There was two animation ones that I thought were really cool. There was Ormajin, who did some stuff in Blender.
Yes. Excellent.
And Pedro Villela as well. Did like a cool, like kind of 8-bit kind of vibe thing, which was very cool. Leo Rex on Twitter did the horse in a suit character very well. I thought it was pretty fucking cool. And what else? I'll just name some other people who submitted who's worth mentioning. Denzu, thank you. Coin Empress, thank you too. That was a cool drone shot in that one.
Very clean. That was a clean video. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, obviously actually going higher in real life, climbing mountains and shit. So have to shout that out. That Web3 guy wrote basically a kind of essay, it sounded like, which was clearly thought through in some way. So that was cool. Gabe was recommended to the higher channel by why is his name escaping me now? Anyway, you know who you are, and good energy. On a video on his balcony, he looked like he's living well. Yeah. And then Jose as well, who I know lives in Venezuela, did a song that mentioned higher.
Oh yeah,
which is obviously awesome, high effort and fun to listen to. That
was specifically written for the video, right?
I think so. Although awesome. There were some other tokens mentioned. Higher had a pretty key featuring in it.
I think it was like a community appreciation for a few different things, but nonetheless, absolute class.
Yeah,
and a great song. Impressive.
Yeah. He's talented.
Yeah.
And then JKG on Twitter was the final one I've got on this list. Kind of actually similar kind of concept to Cactus's that won. I think what Cactus did with the intro and the sound kind of pushed it into a different category, but awesome as well.
Yeah, it had a similar vibe to the kind of, if you combine the S.G and Anna's video, the ethereal beings with like.
I think this. So I'm talking about JKG's was the one where the eagle was wearing the higher hat and then looking left and right, and then there was the leopard one. But you're right, there is one. There was that one that was similar to the two Anna and S.G's ones as well.
Yeah, the JKG one was like It was like HB, but not in a unique way.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely
like
took
that style.
inspiration from that.
Yeah, I don't know what you call that style, that graphic style, but it was compelling.
It's like illustration
So,
or
yeah.
something, right? Or like Shepherd Fairy-esque or something. Like, but it's like
Shepherd Fairy.
way more colorful than Shepherd Fairy, definitely. But like, I feel like the dark lines was like kind of.
It felt a little like a poster.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how I'd say it simply. But Shepherd Fairy, yeah. Hell yeah. The Omnigin is a very honorable mention, in my opinion. Like, it didn't touch on the theme much, Higher Together, but as far as a very tidy looping video that's visually interesting, it was, yeah, excellent. Maybe our only Blender submission as well, I want to say, which
Yeah.
is always impressive to me. Blender is always impressive. I actually reached out to them because it would be interesting for them to maybe make a couple loops for HIGHER.ZIP if needed, because that was very professional, you know. So you could almost just have that on in the background with like a, you know, one of Cactus's beats overlaid, and you know you've got a half-hour segment right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, fuck yeah, awesome first mission.
Super success. Yeah.
Thank you everybody that submitted, and yeah, it's remarkable. It's really special to see that.
And we'll probably be in touch with Andy as well, personally. So keep an eye on the DMs.
Yes, eye on the DMs, and now we need to drum up. Plan for round 2. You know, I don't know exactly what that looks like right now, but knowing how much support we got in, you know, round 1, it kind of opens the doors a little bit to let some of that anxiety out the window and maybe push a little bit harder. I don't know what the fuck that actually means, but it's exciting.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Super excited.
Hey Cam, did you delivery success?
Secure the couch.
Yeah, secure the
Delivery
couch, yeah.
unsuccessful, actually. Do you guys want to hear the tea?
Oh
Oh,
no.
shit, what happened?
So they take it out, and then it's like you have to attach the legs. But the legs, it's like each side of the couch, it's like a bar with 2 prongs that go into the couch. And the couch itself has holes that it slots into, and the holes weren't lined up with the bars where like it slots in. And so it was a mess, and there's no couch. Couch is back in the delivery truck, going back to the warehouse.
What in the
What the
world? What kind of
fuck?
couch did you buy? How did they fuck that up?
I don't know, man. It's not a crazy couch. It's just the legs are stupid or error prone.
Sad.
You know.
Next week. Maybe next week you'll get the delivery during the call.
During the call, yeah.
Yeah, I honestly, like, I'm just kind of annoyed because it's going to be like, if they have to actually like send a new couch, it's going to be 4 months, and it's already been like, you know, 4 months or more than that even. So
What
I
is
don't
this? Handmade in Japan?
no, but it's made in Australia. That's like where their factory is.
Close.
So it's like everything takes forever.
Geographically close to Japan, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Same time
thing.
zone.
What else shit? That sucks.
Damn, dude.
Sitting on the floor for another 4 months, brother.
Fucking stupid, man. Anyways, enough about that. Yeah. So I'm on the bed right now. You know?
And that's just fine, right?
Yeah, it's very comfy. You know, adjustable back support. and just kind of move the pillows around. And yeah.
The lumbar support is off the charts.
Pillows around.
Any
Yeah, buddy.
Well, shit.
any honorable mentions, Cam, that you can think of off the top? If not, I guess we can go to the next segment. Right?
No, I mean, I just want to echo what you guys said. I'm really excited for first off, thankful for everyone that did submit and excited to kind of like, we're setting, like HIGHER.ZIP is an engine that's being like put into motion right now. And so, this is just the first, and I'm really excited for us to keep continuing with this. And so thankful for everyone who did submit.
Very well said.
Sick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, should we talk about the proposal, maybe? I don't know. There's maybe not a ton to discuss there, but I guess it's for any viewers. Yeah, the party DAO proposal officially passed, meaning that HIGHER.ZIP will be receiving 11.8 ETH sent directly to the permapool contract to be permanently locked. Let's fucking go. And then, what was it? 7.6 million higher tokens sent to the Guardian wallet to do more of what we've done with HC001. And now, ideally, we can kick off some of our, partner programs. I guess it's,
Very exciting.
no, it's fucking awesome. It's huge. It's like a blessing, honestly. It's jet fuel for kind of where we were headed already, but it's really nice, gonna head start. But so, I mean, if there's anybody watching now that, has interest in talking about what our partner program looks like or how it could, benefit you, how we could work together, DMs are open. Let's chat. It'll be experimental at first for sure. We have ideas, we have structure that we think makes sense, but until we put it into practice, we just won't know. So it's kind of flexible. It's flexible in a lot of ways, but we're excited about it. So thanks to the party. Thanks to everybody that voted. It's super badass. Means a lot.
How does execution work? Like, has HIGHER.ZIP received the higher yet or the ETH yet? And it's not in the permapool yet, right? I think I checked that.
No, they haven't said. I think execution relies on a few what are called hosts in that party. I don't know what the hosts are or why or who, but after it passes, I think the 3 or 4 hosts have to click execute or something.
Sick.
That, and I'm assuming a lot of things there, but that's my understanding.
Dope.
So really just a few DMs away, hopefully. And honestly, probably good to get that done before the weekend, before everybody logs off.
That's so exciting, though.
Very sick,
Because,
yeah.
I think for like anyone who's watching, like the way that we design the permapool, it's a perpetual source of funding for initiatives like the one that we just did. So yeah, it's a new type of, on-chain organization, if you will. And that just gets me so excited. Higher price also like hasn't been performing. So it's like the only way to go is up in my mind. And it's like, the more it goes up, the more fees we generate. And then the more that we're able to do like these types of competitions. So there's definitely a flywheel aspect to it that gets me super jazzed.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good point what you said about the performance of the token, because it is true. It's almost like it's almost lucky that we're starting now, when I guess we'd all assume that the token has bottomed. Obviously, there's always more bottoms, but I think it's pretty bottomed out. So, like, as we start to accrue fees and start to activate the network, drive engagement and attention, I think I think it'll be an interesting ride, I'll say.
Hell yeah.
Very
So it
excited.
begins, yeah. Let's fucking go. Anything else on that, you guys?
I'd say, like, certainly in the short term, maybe in the long term, that the growing the perma pool in size. If you are wondering about like the partner kind of option here, of working with HIGHER.ZIP, growing the perma pool is kind of one of our priorities, alongside supporting the network to kind of grow in like expression and creative ways. Because if we grow the perma pool, our ability to do that also is amplified. And then as more people create, maybe that leads to higher volume days as well. And so it all will feed each other if things go to plan, but you never know. What I would say is that it's been super cool to work with the fellas here for like the last 6-7 months, just on the idea. Like, we didn't know if we'd get to this point, and we were just doing it for the love of the game, really. And so hopefully, if more people are doing it for the love of the game, we can all go higher together in the process.
Well said. And you said all of that without using the word flywheel, so that's impressive.
Apologies for using the F word earlier. Sorry.
No, you know what? It's a fucking flywheel, you guys. It is, okay? We can own that. But yes, I think the opportunity to work closely with individuals and projects that want to move and are motivated, I think the potential is kind of, it's infinity, really, to be honest. And like you said, driving attention to the network gets people excited to create. People getting excited to create amplifies sharing, posting. Flywheel.
But always said we're not going to say it.
I'm just going to abuse it now.
Oh, adding it at the end there was hilarious, actually.
Well, shit. Well, should we talk about what else do we have on the list? Hawk Shop was the next thing I had written. I know you wanted to. Oh yeah, Cam, you wanted to talk about the NFT.
Yeah. Do you guys want to see these receipts?
Let's go.
So first off, shout out to Brian for the SVG contract. Let me share my screen.
Ooh, already. I'm excited. Holy shit.
This is a basic HIGHER.ZIP receipt. This is based on a donation that I made. We can add more donations. Let me see. So I made the first donation, so I just minted that one. Anyone can mint it technically. And the idea behind that is anyone can initiate the mint, but then it goes to the person who donated's wallet. And that'll enable us to wire this up so that when someone donates, the governance process in the perma pool just kicks this off and sends them the receipt. So who's the 08440 address, for instance? Right here.
I think that's me.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, because because this is me, this is me, this is me, and then I think John came in, and so you're the fourth one, which means you're index 3. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mint the third one here, and let's see. So anyways, we'll go through and we'll back mint all of these, and then we have a function called mint last, which will get called whenever a new donation comes in, and it just auto mints the last one. But let's mint the third one here, or the fourth one, which is index 3. Okay, let's see what that looks like momentarily.
Damn, how much are you selling index 0 for?
Not for sale, baby.
Damn it.
Okay, so it was John because space to be is definitely John. Let's go and look at the collection. Oh, there's the second one that's just been minted.
Cool.
So sick.
Oh, sorry. This is the new one. Oh, we both donated. Oh, yeah, we both donated 0.01 ETH. I was confused because the amount was the same, but
That's so sick.
Cool, man.
and that's the address. And the cool thing is we can also update this. It's entirely on chain. The metadata is entirely on chain, but we can update it in the future as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if we pull the, if we look at the smart contract, I want to nerd out a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
I'm also going to turn my video off because I think my laptop's struggling. So we have this SVG in a smart contract that spits out something that looks like this, as this over here, as the metadata.
Okay.
And it's fully on chain. So if we like put that into our browser and look at what it is, it's text like HIGHER.ZIP receipt, description, and then the image, which is the one that you saw here. So this was my first experiment doing fully on-chain metadata. It was pretty cool. And we can update this as well in the future. The NFT contract supports updating the metadata.
So cool.
That's interesting. I didn't expect you to be able to update that metadata.
So the way that we specifically do it, and we can revoke it at some point if we want, there's an NFT minting contract here, HC receipt,
Mhm.
and it lets us update the token URI resolver, and only owner can do that. And then we can revoke the owner at some point when we're like, all right, this is final. Let's just keep this forever.
Cool.
Yeah. And so this resolver is, Brian, this is the contract that you shared. It kind of points to that for the SVG generation logic.
I see.
And then we can just update it with a new version if we want in the future.
So
Banging.
it's the other contract being HZ token URI.
Yeah, up here.
Cool. Damn, that's so cool, dude. Makes me want to jump up and down. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I want to see, because I also kind of want to test out like the like who donated just like a weird gnarly amount. Let me see if, because remember last call we were talking about like the decimals being
Yeah, I wanted
all
to ask
like,
about that. I wanted to ask what the resolution to that was.
it was some hacky ass code right here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's like basically looking at each decimal place one at a time. And if it's 0 or not, like adding in a string 0, adding in a string 0. And then we go to 6 decimal places.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So if I go to like HZip, I actually kind of want to test it a little bit. Let's hit the permapool. And let's donate a tad here. So like, let's do like that or that or that. Yeah. Because right now the way that it works is we cover six decimal places. So like, let's see if that works. I need to switch wallets. 1 second.
Just so you know, Cam, this is permanent. You're not going to get that amount back.
That's okay.
Be careful.
Should we do a pop-up?
Oh, instead of the alert.
Well,
What
we
do you-
can't. I guess we can't. We didn't see the alert just now for you.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like before you actually hit submit, like warning. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Just in case.
People think it's an investment.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's fucking permanent, so we can't refund it, you know?
Yeah.
What about a link on the receipt to point to this new collection?
Yeah. Oh, that's totally possible because like that's at your donation number 25, which means either number 25 was just minted or number 24 was just minted. I forget like if it's zero-based indexing. Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and mint that now. Again, this is gonna be automated, but let's just see if that minting last one worked.
Yeah.
Number 24.
Wow.
Yeah, so it'd be the count minus one. Let's see what the metadata.
Cool.
There it is.
So
The number. So yeah, our decimal logic works.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Great
work.
job.
Yeah,
File
great
it.
work on that.
That's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
It was a fun experiment. I'm glad that you guys kind of pushed to get these receipts into the app.
Fucking exciting. That's so cool.
I want to mint mine.
Yeah.
Something exciting about that. I don't know. It's
It
really
is,
exciting.
right? Like, I really do want to jump up and down, but that shit is fucking awesome, dude. What?
Cool.
Yeah.
Fully on chain, man.
Yeah,
Exciting.
fully on chain.
NFTs are back, baby. Let's go.
Should we start a HZIP strategy?
For receipts.
Yo. That would be fucking hilarious.
Use some of the permapool funds to buy up HZIP receipts as part of the strategy.
Don't tempt me, Cam.
For real, honestly.
I was thinking just yesterday about an idea where you launched an NFT collection at the same time as you launched a strategy, and you've got like, I don't know, only like 100 pieces. So then it's like a cat and mouse game. Like the tokens chasing the NFTs, but the NFTs are listed higher and higher. Anyways, I digress, but
No, that is
That's cool.
interesting. Because yeah, there's certainly like liquid tokens do the market right. NFTs do like the tactility and ownership right. And so I feel like what we're witnessing is kind of like an emergent model where both of them succeed better than just one or the other.
right, you're playing off the skill set of each individual.
It's like NFTs and ERC20s fucked and had a baby.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
But there was that ERC 404 thing for a little bit. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
I don't, yeah.
I don't know. Was it like the same idea though?
No, it wasn't. It was. I think the difference would be like you could buy the token and then you could like kind of stake that number of tokens for one of the NFTs. So there was like the token would be deflationary when people wanted to own the NFT. And then when people didn't want to own the NFT, then they'd kind of just dump it into the token pool. Or it would become tokens. I think but it didn't have this like strategy of like using fees to buy the tokens back basically and kind of put them into like a kind of strategy trading thing.
There's an unlock there. The creativity I feel like hasn't really been tapped into with that sort of structure.
Yeah.
You know, obviously the simplest, maybe most obvious punk strategy approach makes sense, but it's not very fun. I feel like it could just be so much more fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I think there's something to unlock there still.
Yeah, like depending on what you apply it to. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, John, what you just said made me think about what you were talking about with the creative director hat idea. But if you were like, you could own the NFT to basically be a creative director, but then you're tired and you want out, and then you get your coins, and the NFT goes back on the market, and another director can step in. It's interesting.
Are you talking about the creative directors of crypto, that token that launched last year?
No, the higher.
No, we did this hat, the higher creative director, and John had some ideas on how to create like an auction.
People love that hat in the wild, by the way. Like non-crypto people, I compliment me all the time on that hat.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy.
that's sick. That's cool. I think a fair few folks are wearing that hat, kind of on the regular.
A fair few fine folks.
Should write that down.
Say that 3 times fast. Yeah.
Well, shit, Cam.
Yeah.
Banging job.
Congrats. Yo,
NFT
great
is
work.
amazing.
Huge.
Amazing.
Thanks, guys. Next step is governance upgrade. I'll have that for you next week. It'll just auto wire it, and then we'll go through and backfill the previous mints as well. Another 22 or however many. Yeah.
Cool.
You hear that, guys? Whoever's tuned in, man, get ready for the next NFT wave. 1 week, baby.
Oh shit.
That's so awesome.
I mean, we've talked a little bit about this on stream, haven't we? About like, why would we have the NFTs or anything? We've done that, haven't we? Bits.
Was that on stream? I feel like we definitely had the convo, but I don't remember if it was on stream or not, though.
I don't know if it was.
But basically, like the summary was, we wanted to do the NFT because it's just cool to have them in your wallet in a way. But then it does open the door to kind of like, whether we want to do something, say that owners get XYZ or can access XYZ, or if anyone else wants to do that, basically. And it's kind of a cool, like every NFT collection says that, like anyone can build on top of these, but maybe in the higher ecosystem, that's something that could be more actionable. And in this case, these are people who have or will have literally donated to permanent liquidity for a market of a token that you presumably like if you're watching this. And with the metadata being on chain, you can also kind of like sort for, okay, I only want to give access or reward people who have donated over X amount. So the idea is that everything is here for lots of different possibilities.
Yeah, kind of like a higher NANR score sort of thing, but maybe with a bit more skin in the game. It's intriguing. I'd be interested to see if anybody riffs on that. I think Chatra would be one of the first to do that if anybody ends up doing something using that NFT as a baseline.
Yeah, and a while ago, July, I can't remember what he says. He was talking about higher scores, and this feels like a decent basis. I mean, it depends whether you align with HIGHER.ZIP in a way, but you may think that our strategy for doing things isn't perfect, in which case, please 100% build something of your own. We want that. But if you do, then maybe it's worth building on top of these receipts.
Yeah, I wonder if someone would ever just launch a I'm surprised we haven't seen a token launched paired with higher yet. And in my opinion, if you were going to do that, you would use or one thing you could do is use the HIGHER.ZIP receipts as like airdrop recipients, because obviously they're aligned enough to give money away that they're never going to get back to see the success of a network. That would be kind of interesting. I don't know what that token's for, but it would be cool. I guess the broader point I'm making there is, in this new arena of tokenized everything, it's noteworthy that there haven't been any tokens launched paired with higher. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's respect for the OG token.
Yeah.
Maybe it's as simple as that, or I'm not sure.
I think in a way you don't want to fragment attention too much away from the higher token. That would be kind of like the way I would think about it. Like, ideally, you want to concentrate attention into the network, and the higher token is kind of like your access pass. But maybe there is like an elegant way to do it. I just haven't thought of it.
Well, it makes me think of what Punkster did. You know, the Punkster token didn't really, I mean, it took off, but it blew the fuck up once they started the other strategy tokens. And maybe that will end up as just a short-lived moment of hype, which it seems to be right now, but it was notable the attention that was driven back to the OG token as opposed to actually fragmenting.
That's true. Yeah. I guess you kind of need a platform in a way. Because Zora's doing the same thing, aren't they? So Zora basically a coin launching platform. And this Punkster thing is also a coin launching platform, but with like a little extra spice that drives value into a different token collection.
Well, and to that point, it's noteworthy, I think, that I have heard so many, requests from the higher network to Zora to be able to pair Zora coins with higher. So like it makes sense to higher folks to pair a token with higher if it's a Zora post, but not if it's just a clanker, And I don't know why there's a disconnect there. Maybe
Well, I
there's
feel like clankers are typically like app coins, right? Like startup projects. Zora is much more like the venue is everything, right? Zora is kind of like a home for creative stuff, and Clanker is more like just a strictly tech partner. I do feel like if we had artists pairing their work, not pairing, but rather like pricing their work in higher, that would be pretty aligned. Where it's like, all right, in order to like mint this, you can mint with ETH, but the ETH is going to be converted into higher first, and that higher is going to go used to actually mint it or purchase the item.
I guess the issue with that was that people would be getting higher as like payment, and then if they want to realize that value, they'd have to sell the higher. So then it's like, so that's why the perma pool is kind of an interesting solution in a way, where you say, okay, we're going to sell this in ETH, this artwork in ETH. Some percentage of it is going towards the perma pool, which supports the higher token, and then the rest of the ETH is coming to the artist. So you kind of get the best of both worlds in a way, when you're sharing some of your revenue to the perma pool. There's some way in which you can, I would make the argument that you're also supporting the the higher community at the same time when you do that, because you're providing permanent liquidity for people to trade the higher token.
Right.
Ideally, artists would get both too, right? Like you get ETH, which you can realize instantly, and then higher, which is like skin in the game in the higher network. So maybe there's an interesting setup where it is priced in ETH, and you know, I don't know what the exact numbers could be like, but like let's say 50% of the ETH goes directly to you, 25% of the ETH goes as higher to you, and the other 25% goes to the perma pool or something like that, right? Like sort of three broad buckets of like fun destinations. And so that could be an interesting project in and of itself, like a higher zip or a higher in general, like art marketplace, that automatically has these tokenomics kind of baked into it.
There is probably a lot to unpack there.
I was gonna say, it feels like a can of worms of ideas right now. Like it's just wild.
It's not stupid.
Right.
It's not stupid. It's very interesting. Well, because what the art market, you know, what is that currently? It's Zora, sparsely used highlight, and vaguely art collecting Arcaster posts.
Yeah, I mean, there's other art venues too, like Object on Tezos is a big one for like the crypto art collectors.
Yeah, but I'm speaking more to like where the current higher network is.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Primarily on base. I guess rodeo.
Yeah.
How is the rare token connected to super rare? Because all of those other ones, Zora obviously have their token, which is connected to every artwork as a coin, and paired with Zora, that makes sense to me. Highlight don't have a coin as far as I'm aware. Rare seem to have some kind of model where they have a coin, but I think it might be like governance or something. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's voting on super rare improvement proposals to make decisions about platform upgrades, fee structures, and the allocation of funds from the community treasury, also as a form of curation of art. And there's some staking rewards. And if you can't tell by now, I'm just asking an AI.
Fucking genius.
Better than Google. Fuck it.
It's genius. But Cam, to your point about Clanker, I agree about, you know, like project specific as opposed to content. But like, so what would hold HIGHER.ZIP back from launching HZIP paired with Higher?
Oh, an HZIP token?
Just for example, I don't think there's a reason for us to do that right now, but just as a thought experiment, like, or a higher market token paired with Higher, that maybe makes more sense than a HZIP token.
Yeah. Nothing, honestly. It is definitely possible.
It's more like a probably like a virtuals approach at that point, right?
Yeah. Like a sort of ecosystem pair token, and like a market is like one of the items in the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether you'd want to do a market or whether, because I remember early conversations, Cam, you were talking about Unisocks. I wonder if I'm just wondering, like, is Unisocks, like, for maybe just as an experiment for one product from higher market or something? Is that interesting?
It is.
And then that's on a bonding curve, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think like Unisocks, for instance, because it's like a custom market, I don't even think it like shows up on Deck Screener. I think maybe it does, but because yeah, it's structured in a way where, what is it? If you own like a certain amount, then you can redeem it for the socks.
Yeah.
Huh. It could be very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just wondering if by not by leaving higher as the sole token, the mother token of higher without any any sub tokens, like, are we missing out on something? I don't know that we are. I'm not necessarily saying that we are. I'm kind of just wondering.
Yeah. It is a good point. I think on the economics or the rules of economics, it's like kind of hard to grasp. I kind of rely on Cam and John to kind of like school me through that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
There, broadly speaking, there's like 2 or 3 value accrual mechanisms I see with tokens now. The newest one is the pair token, right? That in order to get access to some market, you need to own this base token, which is paired against the new token. So the base token would be like higher, and you go into higher, and then from higher you go into another asset. And that's value accruing just because then you're locking up higher in that market.
Yeah.
The other one, which we're piloting a little bit, is staking. So you own higher, and traditionally the question is, okay, when do I sell this higher to like book a profit, right? But there's an emerging narrative of, it's not about selling it for profit, it's about capturing yield by staking it. So if you have the higher, staking it and just earning yield on it. Now, where does that yield come from? Well, it could be from the perma pool.
Mm-hmm.
It could be from, I think, John, this is the idea that you posed in chat, right? If there's an NFT marketplace that takes fees, that's where yields could come from. So that's another emerging model around sort of like token, like fundamental token value. And there's like variants on that, right? So there's like the staking version, and then the other version is like, instead of like requiring that you stake to earn the yield, you just take that yield and you use it to do buybacks. So it's effectively paying all the token holders through buybacks. I personally like staking better because it signals intention among holders to like stake and earn. But both are valid.
Mm-hmm. That staking idea, as the staking contract as a squad member, is compelling, John.
I'm on the fence whether I even like it as an idea. I know it sounds cool. It sounds cool to own higher and then to potentially earn yield on it through staking, but I don't think staking as an activity within a network generally is kind of like, it's boring, and also doesn't really, it may signal some intention, but doesn't really signal, it doesn't help the higher network in general, in my opinion. Like, all right, you buy some of the token and you stake it somewhere. Maybe you can't exit as fast as the people who decide to keep their tokens liquid, but that's kind of like the only thing that's happening. Yeah, unless there's some other kind of perk attached to staking.
I think that the biggest perk is less financial and more like a shift in thinking, right? When you hold a token today, traditionally it's like the only way you can realize the value is by selling it, right? It's by kind of like parting ways with it. And if you move to a yield-based approach where you don't have to sell it to earn, then you're not constantly asking, is today the day I sell? Because there's money that's like trickling in. And so I think like that's the benefit, is getting people thinking less about selling every day or looking at the chart every day and asking, is this the day that I do it?
Yeah, I guess my bias at the moment is like I'd rather create that incentive elsewhere. Because I guess like it depends on the yield strategy. Like depending on how much yield's coming in, there may be better tokens to hold and stake, I guess. And there's got to be some other component that makes you want to hold and stake that token in particular. So I'm not sure I would like. I don't know. First, I was thinking, going back and forth in my head about it since I brought it up in the chat. But I think there's I would want to explore other things first, personally. But yeah, all that said, not adverse to one day hop on a contract into as one of the core members to do something interesting.
Well, that's the thing
I
too.
don't know.
That's the thing too. It's like, I think we can explore this idea independently of having it have a seat on, the perma pool. Like it could be that if we, as an example, right, if we set up an art marketplace, we could use some of the revenues there either toward the perma pool or toward staker yield, either or. But I'm not particularly gung ho on like where the money comes from and like a particular strategy there. I'm just more like I can't shake the shift in thinking that comes from not waking up every day and asking, is this the day that I sell, to like actually capture this money.
That's real. I respect that. I think there is value there. I do also agree with you, John, that now is definitely not the time. Well, for one, we got to figure out how to make revenue before we figure out where to put it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the party funds are a kickstart, but it's not enough to be, divvying that out in a new way before we've kind of validated our initial structure.
Definitely. I'm actually so excited. I'm going to do a quick check right now and see where because there's been a lot of selling activity, I'm going to see where the ETH is in Uniswap today. Let's see how much TVL we got going on.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody wants to nuke the chart, then we'll get a lot of rewards to hand out to the community. So that's a win-win. That's not how it works, right?
It is.
Let's see. So there's the V3 pool, 1%, and it looks like. Let me see. Oh, I guess we're a participant in it, so we have to discount that because we already got some donations, didn't we? Someone sent 1 ETH.
Jihad.
Oh, that was Jihad. Okay.
Chad.
Wow. The pool balance is 11.81 ETH and 39.1 million higher. And we're going to be sending in like 11 ETH, right? So half of that's going to be higher, half of that's going to be ETH. So already we're going to be a third of the liquidity of higher. That's so huge.
It is huge, especially at this market cap too. I feel like I just checked, we're at 2.1. It's just, this token is so dead, it has nowhere to go.
But
it's straight fucking up.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Should I be buying this right now?
Not financial advice.
I'll be back. See you in a second.
No, you can't front run the perma pool.
I'm actually getting a couch delivered, so I'll be right back.
No, you're right. I am going to front run the perma pool. If you're watching this, that's your alpha.
One thing is on the question like it's a good question. The why wouldn't I sell this today? Is like a key question. And I do think now that we've in a way I think of like the permapool existence now offers a way for everybody to kind of align financially in a kind of neutral way, especially when we're offering to kind of like work with people based on
Partner program.
Becoming part of the partner program. The next kind of stage in my mind is like, okay, but why would you want to own Higher? Like, other than the fact that there are people maybe working on this permapool idea or working HIGHER.ZIP to kind of like create media, which is kind of like where we are at the moment. How do we make Higher a token that people want to own beyond speculating on the work of other people? And so I think it would be. I personally am quite excited about the network side of things, like it being like an access pass to the network. Like owning some gives you access to some spaces or some connections or some relationships. So I think that's kind of where my mind's at the moment. So I don't know whether but I imagine maybe in the new year I'll have a lot of time to kind of dedicate to some kind of community initiatives. And in the meantime, there's this idea of having a HZip stream every week that maybe more people could be part of. Not this particular conversation, but another conversation. And maybe that's where we kind of introduce, all right, this is gated for Higher token holders. Like if you want the link each week, then you have to own some Higher, and then you can actually be part of this conversation. Because in a way, we're also, HZip is a platform, we'd be platforming people. And maybe that even there is where staking could come in. Like if you want access to this link for a long time, then maybe you do need to set some intention rather than people buying Higher one day, coming in, shilling their token on the stream, and then selling Higher the next day. Right. So yeah, we've been focused on this thing for so long, but now we've gone kind of like this, and now we're going out like this again. It's an exciting time.
Totally.
Yeah. The possibilities are endless, right? That's the hard part.
It's like, what behaviors do we want to incentivize, I guess, is really like any artwork. And like any artwork, right? There's always a why. So in our work of art, not to be pretentious, like what is it that we want to incentivize, right? And reward that.
Yeah. Or what's the desired outcome, maybe gets you to what you're incentivizing.
Right.
I think from my perspective, the HIGHER.ZIP allows for diversity or pluralism in terms of what it is. Like each one of us ourselves can have a kind of internal vision of what Higher may become. And a lot of the work is in like the relationships and the collaboration and what comes out the other side of that. Like for me personally, I'm like, Higher is something that because of my own background, I tie to well-being and like mental health, and that's kind of like my vision. Like I would want to support that kind of behavior. But like I'm super excited about, like we wouldn't be here doing video media if it wasn't for Brian coming in and saying, well, why couldn't the zine be video? And like now that's super exciting to me as well. Obviously Cameron's like experimenting on chain in so many ways that like my brain's always has something to think about basically. That's why I'm dropping ideas in the chat like the staking thing. And then Colfax is at where I'm in right now. now speaks for itself amongst other things he's already been doing.
Making sense of all our gibberish, basically.
Trying to.
We do have a nice intersection of backgrounds. I will, to kind of round out your point, John.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting things happening that we're intersecting of.
Yeah, the cross-pollination is real on this one.
And rare. I feel like it's pretty rare. So I don't know. I think we can push that even further too. Ideally, that would be a goal of mine for HIGHER.ZIP, is to push on diversity of talent hard. I don't know how that manifests, but that if we can continue this sort of melting pot and grow that in a more diverse way, it could be insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think diversity of initiatives is also something that really stands out. It seems like we're doing several different things that kind of come together in a site, in this meeting, and et cetera. And it fits together surprisingly nicely. So I don't know, maybe there's something like scalable about that. Just having more people kind of come in with crazy ideas, and somehow we like put them together and make it work.
Yeah, that is the fun part. You just laid out exactly why this is fun, I think, and why we all keep coming back every week. Honestly.
Higher is down, but the vibes are up.
That's higher, baby. That's it. Vibes are best in higher when the token is shit. Everybody knows that. Real ones know that.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, don't think about the token too much and the token will go up. Well, okay, what else? I know how long do you guys have? Do you need a bone out of here? It's been 2 hours.
I'm chilling. I'm eating some orzo right now. That's why my video's off. I'm happily
Okay.
sitting.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for the party proposals to execute. I feel like that'll really set things in motion in a way that.
I think so too. Maybe I'll reach out to 6 again. But a thing that I wanted to touch on was full screen mode.
Yeah.
And I know it's difficult because our platforms that we're broadcasting to are so diverse. Farcaster to YouTube to the site are all different. The mini app, I think, is the biggest hurdle, because that is, I think, the worst UI as far as us pushing, like a HD format. Or
we can pop them out of the mini app.
Say more.
And if they open it and they're in the mini app, we could ask them to prompt them with a button to open it in their browser. Take them there.
Yeah, that's.
Would they still be logged in and everything?
No, they'd have to connect a wallet. Yeah.
It's compelling because, so for one, I was, obviously when you type HIGHER.ZIP in Farcaster, it brings up that mini app. And I was wondering if it makes sense for it to bring up the mini app, and then there's also a world where it doesn't make sense to bring up the mini app and would be better to just open the web page. And that's primarily when there's a stream going, because you can't see it in the mini app, really. I mean, you can get the audio and everything, but the video is, less than favorable in that form factor. So I was wondering if that link wants to take you to our webpage as opposed to open the mini app, but the streamlined nature of having a mini app, while you can browse Farcaster, you can have the stream open in the
Right.
mini app. That's really fucking compelling.
Right.
And so if there was a full screen option there, it would basically negate the whole point of having it in mini app. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a difficult one.
Yeah, like I guess a user.
There's no way you can have like a little full screen button in the mini app that when you click it, it full screens to your whole laptop screen or your whole phone screen. That's impossible.
Oh, that's interesting.
No, I think that's possible, but it kind of it erases a lot of the benefit of being in
Having
mini
a-
app.
Right.
At that point, you may as well be on our website. Then you can bump back to Farcaster and to the site. Because if you're full screening from the mini app, then you're just watching the video and you have to exit. I mean, maybe it's fine. Maybe it's not that deep and I'm blowing it out of proportion.
So you have like an ideal solution. Would you be hoping like the mini app would, like the video would take up more of the space in the mini app display, or?
The solution is, well, there is no ideal solution in my opinion. The mini app wants to be vertical and the website wants to be horizontal, and making those two things congruent, I don't know if that's possible. Like if we're accepting either vertical or horizontal videos, it's going to be less optimized here versus here, depending on what that format is. The formatting, I think, is the roadblock there.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't do both unless you dedicate to Square, in which case it's just an average of the two. So we can, like, for example, dedicate ourselves to Square. Therefore, we have no dedication to neither horizontal nor vertical. But then that means that when we accept videos that are either one of those things, they will be cut off on the edges. If you're horizontal, it'll be cut off on the left and right. If you're vertical, it'll be cut off on the top and bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and then so if we think further along, like maybe when it comes to we having like a chat function or some other things to do on chain on the website, will people even want to be in chat on the mini app? Like will that even look good on there? To have like a tiny chat and a video at the same time, or will we want to be pushing people towards like to being immersed in the experience on like a separate tab altogether anyway?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Well, you can approach the mini app, in my opinion, you can approach the mini app as just like a mobile UI where you can, like if you're on YouTube watching YouTube shorts, you can pull up the comments, while watching the video. It's not perfect by any means, but it's basically just mobile. But that lends itself to strictly being vertical for the best experience, right? And the Square idea is compelling and may be worth pursuing. It works, which is nice.
Yeah.
I think it works. It's less
How do like
optimal.
Twitch and stuff do it? Like, does Twitch have a mobile app that looks a particular way, or how does it turn up on Twitch on the?
Yeah, I think
they
they're doing
effectively,
horizontal.
and I think what most of, I guess, companies in general are doing is like TikTokifying themselves. So they'll have like a separate feed that's basically just vertical videos. And then they have like the content library that's typical. Like, at least that's what I see Twitch doing. When you open Twitch nowadays, it's a straight up vertical, it's a TikTok basically. They're trying to do what TikTok does. But then if I leave that feed and go hover around on Twitch, everything is still horizontal, Tokyo, wow. YouTube, that was a weird dyslexic moment. What the fuck? YouTube does that as well with YouTube Shorts, except they don't hit you over the head with it. Like, they don't put it on the home screen when you first log into YouTube. You have to go to the Shorts tab to view all the vertical stuff. So there's still very much like horizontal first, or maybe I don't know if they customize it per user or something, because I guess I use horizontal more maybe, but I do like the idea that you mentioned when you scroll down to comments or something like that, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's kind of like a pop out. Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's like the video stays at the basically the topmost position. So essentially, what's in our case, it would slide up, and then the comments kind of appear under that. So
Yeah.
something like this, where the video is playing, but
Yeah.
so
And maybe
there's
it's
that.
just fine. I mean, maybe people are watching horizontal videos vertically on their phone. It's not something I would ever do, but
I
if
have
you're
an idea. What if we use if you're on mobile on Farcaster, we use the picture-in-picture API.
Oh,
So
we can do that.
yeah, look at that right there. You can't see it on my screen, but you can see playing picture-in-picture.
Oh,
Yeah.
then there it is. That's the solution right there. There it is.
yeah,
That's literally it.
Can you see
then
the little video, or no? You can't see the little video.
I see the placeholder for the video and it says picture in picture.
Here, let me do this.
Because then, kind of, I think this is what you were trying to say before, Colfax, is that it effectively, yeah, look at that. That's
Yes.
that to me is the solution right there. Then, and I'm assuming when you tilt your phone, that thing also tilts as well.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. We can test it with a button on the site, like request picture in picture, and see.
Yeah, that I think that would be the best solution then, because then we can think about let me tell this dog to be quiet. Oh, he's good. We could use the mini app as almost like a companion in that way. So now if the picture in picture is activated, maybe the chat takes up the full screen, you know? And to your point, another user behavior that kind of was highlighted in my mind when you mentioned it was the fact that kind of against what we're talking about right now, which is like maybe the way that people access HIGHER.ZIP via the mini app is audio only, right? As they scroll through Farcaster, they're consuming Farcaster, and really they've minimized the mini app and they're not watching the video at all. They're just listening to what the feed is.
Yeah, we can also programmatically minimize the mini app if we want to using the SDK. Like they open it, we open the picture in picture, and then we send it to like the minimized mode.
Yeah, like that also feels like a vibe and like futuristic, I guess you could say. Like,
yeah, because mini apps are kind of annoying, low key. Like,
I think if the mini app window was all chat, that would be kind of cool. Like if it was a live chat in the bottom right hand corner, you had the picture in picture top left, and you could fucking scroll. It's like ADD kind of,
right.
But terminally online people will probably be able to move between those three things pretty easily.
And it feels cool in this sense where like I feel like if we mix that, the picture in picture, with the chat, and then we also mix it with like this ability to go like audio only, now HIGHER.ZIP is like a malleable piece of media that can be consumed in whatever way that the user prefers. We're like basically not dedicating ourselves to any specific thing. We can be a radio station if you want, but we can also be a television network.
And also a chat room.
Yeah.
compelling. Yeah. How does the picture in picture, how does that works on mobile, obviously?
Yeah.
Because on the mobile, the mini app takes up the whole screen anyways. So you can't scroll while mini app is open.
You can.
Okay.
I think can't you minimize it? Can't you
You can
minimize it?
minimize it, yeah, but you couldn't be like watching this video with the mini app.
Minimized.
No, you can listen to it, but my thought was basically that when you have the mini app open and you're watching, you can't scroll. So this is even better for mobile than the current mini app solutions, and also compelling for desktop. I'm coming
Yeah.
around to it. I'm figuring it out.
Well, for desktop, I think YouTube has picture in picture.
Yeah, but you're not involved in the chat scenario,
That's true.
which I think is the solutions we should pursue are the ones that allow the users to chat,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, definitely. Or any user behavior we want in that moment. Yeah. I mean, like we want them to go to HIGHER.ZIP ultimately, ideally.
Yeah, and to that point, maybe the full screen comment mainly pertains to the web page.
Maybe it's not. We don't really need full screen then, I guess, because picture in picture you can make. Could you make picture in picture full screen? Is that one of the options there, or is it just pop it back into the window that it was already in?
Yeah, on the phone at least you could make it really large, which I think is probably roughly 25% of your screen. And at least for the phone, at least for iPhone. But then yeah, it would pop it to do it full screen. It would pop it back to, I'm pretty sure pop it back to the original source.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess as long as, maybe I'd still say personally, I would go to HIGHER.ZIP on my phone and want to pop it into full screen and set it down sideways and be watching the stream while, I'm looking at feet pics or whatever online.
Hey, looking at feet pics.
Did you say that out loud?
Requesting them.
Who said that? But to your point, Brian, I mean, like the rotate on the website is close. It does, it's not quite full screen and it's cutting off a bit.
Yeah. All right. So I think there's two different trajectories there, right? One of which being the mini app behavior, and then the other one being the mobile phone behavior, the mobile app behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think the picture in picture seems to have solved the mini app behavior that we're talking about, but it doesn't necessarily solve the mobile phone behavior. Although it does present a semi-solution, which is a picture in picture solution. We would still need at least a full screen solution for mobile.
It seems like we would.
Yeah.
Which
is that possible to do both? Just have a full screen button, like the full screen, little corners thing in the bottom right, and then also picture in picture.
Well, I just found out about the picture in picture right now through Cam posting that in there, so I would defer that question to Cam, honestly.
So what I'm working on right now is just like a hacky button in the clicker just to trigger it so we can see what the experience is like on our phones.
Cool.
See if it actually works or not.
sick. Because I feel like with your picture in picture and then also offering a full screen, you covered everything. Like you can watch it in whatever fucking way you want. You could even still just watch it in the mini app if you want. If
I
you're
would
okay
even-
with just watching a small video, that's fine. Do it that way.
And not to be annoying, I would even argue that like a no videos button, just listen to the audio at this point. You know what I mean?
Which, yeah, that's the compelling mini app angle, which
Right.
is just minimize that shit.
Now it's a Twitter space. Yeah, like straight up.
The only issue there is that if you you can only use one mini app at a time, which is maybe annoying. Like if I wanted to bang into check my tip and rewards while HIGHER.ZIP is running, like you can't do it.
But I think that those people are the ones that would then go in the Chrome browser on their phone and then actually do it that way, you know?
That's how I would do it.
Yeah. I think that's a small sample size to be like,
You're probably
let me
right.
make the best experience for you guys that are like super users, you know? Super users.
Yeah, no, if this works, it seems optimal.
Yeah. Picture, full screen, and also no video at all. Hide the video completely.
Right. Which it requires no lift, right? It's just the user just minimizes the mini app, or are you suggesting that you can like actually hide the video?
In the mini app, yeah, I guess in the mini app maybe you don't even need that button because you could just minimize the mini app.
Or if
And the
there's
audio still plays, right? When you minimize the mini app.
I believe so, yeah.
Let me go on my profile right now and see.
Or
I think it does, from what I...
just click the comment tab, and all the comments replaces the video, or goes directly under like that YouTube solution, which isn't bad either.
Let me go on my profile right now and see. So then if I minimize this...
Comment tab, and
totally does.
comments replaces the video.
And to that point, I almost feel like if we could somehow put a mute button on the little tab there, you know.
Mm-hmm. I wonder.
That'd be sick.
That's fucking cool that we are just live on a mini app right now. Like, that's so cool.
It's fire.
It's what? Come on now.
Yeah.
It's remarkable.
Yeah, it is really cool.
I think we should change the mini app icon
Yeah.
to the HC logo.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be sick, honestly.
Because
Yeah,
it's
the
not,
full one,
it's maybe not as descriptive enough with just the arrow. It loads quick. I'm actually really impressed by that. Obviously,
Everything we've been doing is so cool, honestly. Like, how the fuck do we get it this far? Well, I know how, but, you know, still impressed.
It's exciting, honestly. You're right, John. And we only just started.
So then I
Yeah.
guess if Cam finishes that button, then I could style the button in the same style that the clicker is. And honestly, you know, behind the scenes, I have been working on a new clicker, and it is a little bit of an alpha, and spoiler alert right now, it plays off of the circle that we've been talking about. So,
Yes.
you know, yeah, whatever functionality he adds, I'm more than happy to adapt that into the clicker in that way, you know.
I love that circle motif.
It's definitely a vibe.
Well, it also plays in
All changed.
some sort of animation opportunities with the dot in the logo. You can do a lot with that.
Yeah.
That was an idea that I was playing with the other day, which is like the HC with the dot, and it's just like a zoom in, and then you enter the circle, and then maybe it comes out, and it's your rotatey. That's fucking cool.
Yeah. I'm also getting like a really cool Looney Tunes reference when they talk at the end. Porky Pig talks at the end of the thing with the.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's all, folks.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't
Oh,
seen that in
shit.
years.
Banger. banger.
Shit. That'd be good to make even for our weekly streams, dude. Just like at the end, that's the closer. Oh shit, dude. I'm gonna try to make that this week. That's fire. It's gonna be a combo of motion graphics and like AI generated cartoon or something like that.
I love it.
Damn, that could be fucking cool.
And then it breaks into the loop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's cool. That's something we need to get sorted.
There it is.
Oh, yes.
It's gonna be sick, dude.
Oh, this is it right here.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, absolute banger. Iconic.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's-
you could get an HB popping out of the dot, dude. That'd be crazy.
Oh, that'd be sick.
We need a HB in the Guardian wallet. I feel like a higher.zip Guardian HB.
We should, well, maybe when the funds come in from the party, mint one of the remaining from the last collection and see what we get. And then that'd be fun, more fun than choosing one.
Yeah, you're right. It's a great idea. Yeah,
And I didn't realize it didn't build. So now I'm fixing the build.
okay. I was thinking I'm gonna use I was just gonna dump the 10% ETH that I get from the Guardian wallet back into the pool, but then I got the live peer charge of like $350 like 2 days ago, and I think I'm just gonna keep that ETH to pay for that and maybe any other sort of subscriptions we end up needing.
100%, yeah. Don't have to rush into it, I guess. So that'll mean that overall around 10.7 or something ETH, or 10.6 will go into the perma pool, which is still like pretty huge. And I mean, hopefully the impetus is that those are running costs that are that 10% going to the Guardian wallet, and the running that we'll be doing will lead to partnerships that can still bolster the perma pool. So I wouldn't worry about that at all.
Exactly. Yeah, and well, shoot, what is that still like? Throwing all that ETH into the pool, was that like 22K USD buy for higher, since it's 50-50. I don't know what that number is. 10.6 ETH. So what is that? 5.3 as a higher buy.
Yep.
Yeah, 50-50, yeah.
5.3. 24 grand. That'll be a juicy candle.
Not financial advice.
That is financial advice.
I have a degree in financial advice. I'm
I just want
allowed.
to go to jail.
Actually, that's so funny. Could you get in trouble for that? Probably.
You could be
Yeah,
sued.
I mean,
Tell people and they lose money doing what you said.
Oh shit! Damn. Never
Infinite
mind that.
money glitch. You won't lose. Buy now. Buy now.
I'm a certified financial advisor. You do this right now.
And I'm a cop.
You know, I used to feel more liberated on these streams until I went to the YouTube channel and I saw that they're all saved on the YouTube channel. So I'm like, Live Peer for sure isn't saving the videos, but I guess, you know, YouTube keeps a nice archive.
Yeah. Oh, you know, we should. That's probably a whole.
Oh yeah, you're all. Everybody's joking, right? You know?
Yeah, we're all joking, by the way. Make sure you add this when you make the clips of us.
Yeah, click this. We're joking.
Get the full context, please.
But yeah, it is. It's all been public for a while. What's going to happen? You can make your own decisions.
Cool. Looks like the build went through. Let's see what it looks like, because I didn't even just one-shotted it
Let's go.
without even testing. So let's see the clicker in action. Oh my God, Brian, we need you to fix that whenever you can. But there it is, little TV. So let's see what happens if I push it. Oh. It's not triggering it. Man, I feel bad. I shouldn't have done this to our site. Gotta revert, gotta roll back.
Do you have to make it a button and then put that emoji in the button?
It's it is a clickable thing.
Oh.
So I don't know why it wouldn't. Let's see. Which one? So much for proof of concepts, prototypes.
I mean, try it in the mini app first, though.
Okay.
Maybe it's just like a browser thing, you know.
Damn. Huh. That's what happens when you try and vibe code something. You know.
Vibe code.
Let's see if that. So annoying. Oh, looks like I got the ID wrong of the element.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's Jumbotron.
I added Jumbotron to the television component. Video ID equals Jumbotron. Is that not the right video? Is it a different video?
It looks like it is, yeah.
Right, that's the thing that plays all the stuff, right? Or is it wherever this children is? Do we pass in children here into the television? Huh.
Is Live Peer in there as a variable? Is that a different?
This is the television component. I think it just gets past some stuff. Let me see what it gets.
Yeah, because I pass in the array of videos plus the Live Peer stream.
Oh, so if I like go clicker to another video, then the video tag should work.
Should
right?
also pop out.
Yeah. Yeah, see that? Okay, so for demo purposes, if you guys just want to fuck around, just pop down to a different channel and then click the TV button.
All right,
That's
let me
what
see
it does.
Fuck
That's
yes.
awesome.
That's so cool.
Let's see. Open. Change the channel. Pop out. Yeah. Totally works. I could even, I thought I could exit out the mini app completely. That would have been fun. That would have been crazy. Obviously can't do that.
Damn.
And then minimize the mini app. Yeah, it keeps going. Completely minimized, still on the screen.
Wait, mine didn't go. Oh no, there we go.
And if I leave Farcaster and go to other apps, it still plays also.
Hell yeah.
See, my picture-in-picture dies once I click the main Farcaster page.
Oh, it stops working.
Yeah.
On your computer or your phone?
A desktop, I can scroll, and then once I click, oh no, didn't do it that time. No, we're here. I don't know why it didn't work first time. It's actually flawless right now. Huge. Bro, that's insane. I'll put it in the top right, cover up all that shit. Blow it up a little bit. Oh, see, now I clicked away and it's gone.
Oh, so it doesn't consistently keep going.
I'm not sure what the reasoning would be.
Is this on mobile specifically? I gotta grab my phone.
I'm on desktop.
I'm on desktop. I'm gonna try it on my phone. I feel like that's also.
I'm having no issues on desktop, to be fair.
Maybe it's just me then, huh? Skill issue.
I haven't tried desktop yet, but the phone seems to be working fine. It did stop playing for some reason, so I'm gonna try to replicate that. Yeah, it seems to be playing. Even the one video, I have the flag video playing, and it just loops. So
It obviously disappears when I close the mini app.
yeah,
Like, not just minimize, but close it.
right.
All right, I think I just deployed an update. Let's see where it's at. No. Let's go back here and see.
Oh, yep, I got it. Got the stream picture in picture.
Oh yeah.
On the desktop
Yeah,
via the mini app.
via the mini app.
Sick.
Fucking massive.
I'm gonna try it in the mini app too. Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Sick.
Damn, real time.
That's
that
fancy.
was crazy.
Yeah, that's fancy.
The button needs a little bit of a facelift, but I guess Brian, I defer to you on the clicker.
Sure.
This is what peak dev performance looks like. You may not like it. That's so cool, man. That's fun.
We're having fun out here.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool
That
little
is
snippet.
cool.
I didn't even know you could do that. That's so dope. I've always relied on like Safari itself to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe mine was goofing because I'm still using Arc.
Oh, like a power save thing or something, where it's like trying to preserve your battery or be faster.
Not sure, maybe. I'm not smart enough. That's above my pay grade.
It's working lovely on a browser, a mobile browser too, Chrome. Like I'm just on Chrome. And now I'm picture in picture, like just chilling, doing whatever I want on my phone.
Oh shit.
Hell yeah. That's cool
Jack
shit.
genuine Jack is watching this stream and just quoted my financial advice and the fact that I'm a cop. God damn it. Jack, I love you, brother.
Oh shit.
Cool. Well, that's exciting. I mean, is it like an insane thing to do full screen? Have that full screen option? It's obvious. Now that we have picture in picture, I wouldn't call it like top priority.
Yeah.
We could have the picture in picture button and full screen button, or we could like make some preferences, prior to that. But we should be able to add buttons for either,
Okay.
Yeah.
Has Pine Tree done like full screen from the mini app? Do you know?
I haven't even. Let's go on right now. I haven't even seen what they do with the mini app.
I don't think I've added it.
Yeah, I think I added it when it came out, but it might be down. Okay, there is a live stream going on right now. If I go to it, it plays. They definitely add chat right under the live stream. There's chat.
And it's just they don't.
They don't full screen at all. It's just live stream and then chat right under it.
So maybe we don't. What do you think? You can drag the chat all the way up. That's kind of nice.
Oh, they do have a full screen button. They still have a full screen button, even though it's like that. Well, at least this is not for live streams. This is for all the other videos.
Okay.
And if I turn it sideways, it works sideways.
See, okay.
And this is within the mini app that this is happening.
That's nice. That has been.
Not to mention, there's also a little picture-in-picture icon right there.
Yep.
When I'm in full screen.
That's huge, actually.
I think that's an iPhone thing, though, the picture-in-picture button once you're in full screen. An iOS thing, I should say.
They have a view in-app button, which takes you to their site or their app, I guess is what they're calling it. Okay.
Super cool, though. They're doing a good job with their mini app, honestly.
Yeah, Android is a G.
I wonder if they'll end up doing chat features where you can do token stuff in the chat.
I would assume. Well, I don't know, actually. There's maybe pros and cons to that. That they may decide against it.
Yeah.
I know that they've been focused on long form content. Like they seem to, in their announcement of the streams, they seemed reluctant to have done it. But I'm more asked the question to wonder about like HIGHER.ZIP's obviously awesome, cool, and we're building it. But I wonder like if I'm not clear. If Pine Tree ends up being the YouTube of crypto, right? They end up having huge distribution. For the same reasons that we are on YouTube, would we want to be on Pine Tree and utilize their features, essentially? It's the train of thought.
Probably. I don't see why not. I think it does beg the question of, or maybe light a fire under our ass to fully consider what we offer in a unique way, especially on the website.
Right.
Like mini app, convenient, can chat, cool. That's great. On the website, all of those things plus what else? Why would you be on our website as opposed to just browsing Pine Tree? I think those are sort of the main things that we need to lock down.
Because we have a donation funnel on our site to support
We do.
our.
And that's why we need people on our site. You know, we need to incentivize folks to visit the site, I feel like.
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, the strategy could change in that. You know, if they do, and I think we should continue on the course that we're on, and continue to aim to build these things. Because if they don't do it, then they don't do it, and then we've still got our shit. But if they do end up doing it, then you could still point people towards a donation place. Just as an addition, it's already friction, I guess, in a way. They still have to click buttons. You just make it much more streamlined. They wouldn't have to click into the permapool tab. I have actually been thinking recently in terms of like, do we split could we have another website which is just permapool.xyz and then have HIGHER.ZIP somewhere else? Just to kind of really make it clear that they're different things. Especially, yeah, I've just been thinking about like, depending on what's being shown on HIGHER.ZIP, whether you'd want to keep those two things kind of more visibly and obviously separate, in case someone comes along and says, well, are you making money off this content right now? Which is, we can basically say no, because we aren't. We're making money from trading fees. But it's new territory also.
Right.
What would be the downside of somebody asking that?
I don't know. I was thinking around the music that was on some of the submitted videos. We have a site. Yeah, we have a site where, in theory, money can be given to a permapool, and at the same time, there's content that may be attached to someone else, maybe someone else's property. This is all hypothetical. And my current position would be that, donations we're not monetizing this content directly. That would be my position right now. But it's just thoughts basically in my head.
Yeah, and that makes sense. It's a worthwhile consideration. I don't know currently if it's beneficial to separate to a separate website for the permapool. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't seem obvious to me to do that. I'm not sure though. I haven't thought about it enough. That's a great point though.
Yeah, I don't think we have to right now. I wouldn't think so, because it's not like we're the only place it says to donate to the permapool. It doesn't say that on the YouTube even. I don't think. Just links out to HIGHER.ZIP. So yeah, I know this is more in the context of like if Pine Tree ends up solving or doing a lot of what we were planned to do anyway, then we could move the stream platforms there, and but also it's just cool to do it independently. So
Agree.
Yeah. I think one thing I have been thinking about as well is on the point earlier about HIGHER being an access token to community, having a site where the HIGHER token has a utility, and then you can, maybe the chat is gated by the HIGHER token.
Yeah.
That is definitely compelling.
I think giving up the freedom we have, even if Pine Tree does exactly what, is being built currently by us, we still have so much freedom to do more and more nuanced things on our proprietary site. Of course, the issue is attention at that point, right? Like if everybody's on Pine Tree and they're like, well, why aren't you just on Pine Tree? I got the mini app already open. But I feel like that's a hurdle that we can overcome.
Yeah, you're right. That's a very good point. We should definitely continue forward with what we're doing.
Well, yeah, continue, sure, but to your point also, like, if we're streaming on YouTube, why wouldn't we stream on Pine Tree as well? It all kind of makes sense.
I think one thing that is intriguing about Pine Tree that I pestered A16 about this for a while is like, channels that multiple people can have access to. And you know, at the moment, one of our issues is that there's not a frictionless way to swap between shows and the 24/7 thing. And we could build that ourselves, and that would be awesome. Like we have like a, if not live show, default to this loop, and also allow people to different accounts to stream to this particular thing. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but
No, it's good. It's good conversation. We have to be thinking about these things.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Especially from the angle of like, oh, we're creating something that doesn't exist. And then it's like, well, does it exist? Actually? Will it exist? Is it going to exist in a better form? You know, it's worth considering. And I think that's maybe the food for thought over the next week, you know, in the back of our minds is like what makes what we're doing unique and how do we exemplify that?
Does that make us a technology company too?
Yeah, this is your strategy.
Right? There's like now we have to now that makes more sense about separating the two, the perma pool and the and HIGHER.ZIP website. It's like all of a sudden HIGHER.ZIP becomes a technology company, then like it's definitely different than the perma pool.
I mean, in reality, they are separate things. The perm pool is like public infrastructure. It's basically liquidity that nobody owns.
Yeah.
And it just points at the moment in time that we're in now, points at our governance contract. But we can point elsewhere as well. And it just so happens that we have a front end on our website, which you can donate to it. So to be fair to us, we have thought through this. We have given ourselves a lot of freedom, given how we've set up so far.
Yeah. But it's worth considering as we progress. The freedom is great because we can do whatever we want, but at the same time, we want to be building something meaningful, not just something fun, because it is fun as fuck. But you know, if it's not meaningful for the network, then you know, maybe we've lost track. So thinking in terms of what can we focus on building that has the largest impact on the network is maybe the framing that I'm going to be approaching from here on out, maybe.
I think one of the things is definitely that it's a platform aside from the higher channel that people can, you know, point to. It's definitely, and it's more live than the aimhigher.net place. So I feel like having one of the things I've been thinking about this week is shows on HIGHER.ZIP. Like I think the basic open call is all right, Cam, no worries.
See you, man.
Cheers, brother. You're a legend.
Thank you. Yeah, legend in the game. What was I saying? That's a platform for the network. So that is like it. How do we make it become somewhere that people want to be part of and make it easy for them as well? And I think being able to host shows, in addition to collating and collecting, curating kind of content and incentivizing content, which is kind of like we've already proved that we can do that, which is worth celebrating. But I think maybe the next phase is like shows and like inviting creators to become part of programming week to week. That feels exciting to me, alongside the chat function, which invites the community to feel like this is a home.
I like that language actually as a home. I think there's value there beyond like just offering a stream that you can watch, but creating a location, that feels, well, is proprietary for one, and two, just feels comfortable for higher individuals to show up and enjoy time. That's maybe a way that it can be simplified outside of like token mechanics and things of the like, making it feel like a home. I like that word. Is my point. I love that word.
Yeah, I've been watching these R&B like 2 hour long videos of like groups of friends basically mixing different R&B music, like records, and like they'll be sitting on a couch and different people will come in and play. And I've had this feeling that radio stations already have the kind of model that we're pointing towards, which is like you have different residents that take up airtime.
Mm-hmm.
TV channels don't get talked about in the same language, but they're essentially the same thing. But you've just got kind of more professional outfits doing things. So it's almost like a stream radio kind of vibe, like rather than going for, we're a big platform like Twitch where anybody can come and do this. We're like a curated station. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, curation is or has been, a pillar that we've constantly talked about since we started this. It's not necessarily like you said, it's not Twitch. We're not just a front end for the whole world to utilize in whatever way they want. We are a curated broadcast centered around higher. And I think maybe that's just good enough. And we don't have to overthink it past that at this point, as long as we can build something that higher individuals want to tune into at the moment, I think that's a win. Like trying to eat YouTube's lunch or Twitter's lunch, that's a challenge for Sisyphus in itself.
Yeah, but I think that we are using them as giants that we're building upon. I don't necessarily think that we're competing with them. Like, even though, yeah, sure, it's like video content, right? Maybe competes with YouTube in general, but like at the end of the day, the content that we publish on our video feeds is more niche than like YouTube as it in its entirety.
Yep. No, that's exactly
maybe
right.
That's
I
where
think
the value
my
is.
comment about competition is in a way that it's not that we're competing with YouTube's model. It's that why would we build a site if an individual would just rather watch our stream on YouTube and it's easier for them to have the app already? I'm just gonna watch it on YouTube. It's great. I love the stream, but I'm not going to the site. So the competition is adding functionality or that home aspect, some sort of value to our site that even if it's not as, seamless or streamlined of a UX, it's more desirable to be there.
Yeah,
that's maybe true. The broader challenge.
Yeah, that's true.
Because me, like, if I'm watching this, there's a high probability that I just watch it on YouTube.
Right.
Because I know YouTube, I like YouTube. It's good and it's simple. I might not want to fuck around with the mini app open this, you
Right.
know, set up my picture. I'll probably just open it in a new tab on YouTube or open the YouTube app on my phone while I'm driving and just listen, you know. So, yeah, you get my point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a very good point. I mean, people always kind of defer to like whatever is already in their life. So if YouTube is already in their life, or in the opposite spectrum, if Pine Tree is already in their life, right? Like, then they'll just go kind of through the path of least resistance, right? Like, if they don't have a Farcaster account, then what? They're gonna some feature of our mini app is going to make someone get a Farcaster account just so they could participate in the mini app. I mean, obviously we can only dream, but like in reality, that's like a big hurdle to kind of
Massive.
convert someone who's like unaware of Farcaster at all, and then be like, you can only chat via the mini app, and having people then create Farcaster accounts so that they can be able to chat.
Right. And honestly, that's maybe where the website bridges that gap in a meaningful way. Like, it brings me back to the idea of logging into the website, like without a wallet or without Farcaster Connect, you know, in a way that, because to your point, there's no chance that what we're building in the near future is going to be the Farcaster onboarding machine. I don't think. I would be surprised. It'd be great, but I would be surprised.
I mean, like, definitely
So
to
I
the
think
higher ecosystem, at least, right? Like,
yeah,
I think once we solve that, then we can move on to like, yeah, let's fucking onboard to Farcaster, right? I think. But yeah.
exactly.
I think the tokens so this is why the Pine Tree thing came up for me, because I don't know what direction they're headed in. But for me, the two things that feel like really important are, it would be differentiators, would be like, it's a home, so multiple people from the network can stream there. There's that diversity. And then also the chat itself is a vehicle for distributing higher tokens. Like
Yeah.
that would feel special to me, in that you have to have a Farcaster account, or you have to have some crypto wallet and be logged into the site, and then you can receive higher tokens.
Yes.
That would be
Yeah.
that feels closest to me. Or not even like, maybe not tokens, maybe it's just like NFTs. Like you just mint in NFTs to the people who are in chat at that time. But the question of like, why would I use the website over YouTube? That is the core question. And then depending on what Pine Tree were to build, the question is why would you use the website over Pine Tree? And in some ways, like, there is just some coolness to having the missions there. So if the missions are on screen and you're watching a stream of us and we say tap the missions tab,
Right.
and you can see the latest mission, there's some kind of coolness to that. And, you know, that would make people swap from YouTube or Pine Tree over to the site in real time.
Mm-hmm. And some validity, some validation attributed to having that site. You know, like, even if I'm watching a DJ set on YouTube, but I can also click the link and go to their site and see that they have a cool fucking site. I'm excited. I think that's awesome, even though I might still just watch the next one on YouTube. But with our added functionality of, you know, crypto rails with streaming, it maybe gets us there.
Yeah.
That may be the full pie as far as where we're at now to where we're going in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, I think also there's something to say about like, I don't even know what to call this, like the level of importance of all the chats that we are inheriting, essentially, right? Because if we're talking about having our chat in the HIGHER.ZIP website, like currently the YouTube already has a chat, right?
Yeah.
Like us live streaming on YouTube right now, a chat exists, right? And if we go on Pine Tree, another chat will exist. Similarly enough, if we ever decide to do Twitch or not, I think we've already decided not to. If we did that, then there would be a chat on Twitch. Therefore, if we're addressing chat
Mm,
in the shows, which chat are we addressing? All of them? Right? Like, are we addressing all of the chats? So
mm-hmm.
then that, with that thought in mind, I guess the question that kind of comes in my head now is that of a branding question.
Mm-hmm.
From a branding perspective, as if Higher Zip was a company, obviously it's not, but like as if it were, from a branding perspective, from a branding voice perspective, which one of those platforms are the ones that we are going to decide to stream on first and foremost, but then also like, do we decide to validate the chat within those systems as well, with it as part of the same decision, right? Like, because there's also the choice of like putting the chat on the live stream here, like as people
Mm-hmm.
view it, right? So then that means that people who are viewing it on YouTube are going to be able to view the Higher Zip chat, but not to participate in it unless they have the Higher.
Because they'd be in a separate YouTube specific chat,
What's going on?
even though the chat is on their screen because it's overlaid on the video.
Right.
That's difficult.
Yeah. So it becomes a little bit of a, I guess to me, it becomes a branding question more so than like a functionality question. It's like, because right now we are the choosers of this fate, then it really becomes like, what do we want to show up in the world as?
Well, and yeah, that's a great question. And to the point of what the actual goal here is, which is to accelerate higher,
Right.
it maybe makes the most sense to push as many people to the website as possible over any other channel.
Right.
Because you push them to the YouTube, unless, and this is revenue speaking, but unless we're doing numbers in a way that like we get kickback from YouTube, which is probably not going to happen in the near future, you just wouldn't want your viewers over there. You'd want your viewers on our site.
Right.
Because that's where any sort of permapool functionality is. That's where any sort of crypto functionality is. That's where ideally streamers can airdrop tokens. The website is probably, it seems like the best option. I don't know if it is the smartest option, but it seems like that's where our attention belongs.
Yeah. The experience of the website. Yeah.
I think there is like and I like that as an experience as well. Versus like I can be on YouTube and get distracted by YouTube short and
Right.
end up like scrolling through AI slop. There's some coolness there. I think if we go that route, then we'll really have to work on making it seamless for multiple streamers in different geolocations to stream on the site. And then maybe we even get to a point where like we start streams on every platform, and then 30 minutes in or whatever, it just cuts to like watch the rest on HIGHER.ZIP, still live on HIGHER.ZIP, or just live on HIGHER.ZIP.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
And I also do think that this is going to sound definitely pretentious and shit, but like we're actually to a certain extent doing YouTube a service by live streaming on YouTube. And subsequently we would be doing Pine Tree, we would be doing Twitch, whatever. The mentality I think that we should start putting ourselves in, even though we're not there yet, is that we are providing a service to YouTube for us streaming on there. Like us streaming on there makes YouTube that much cooler.
Yeah.
And replace YouTube with literally any other video streaming service, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Which, for that to be true, right? The focus or the other truth would have to be that we have viewers,
Right.
you know? So does that lead you to the decision initially right now to focus on viewership over, and maybe focusing on viewership is the same thing as, building out website user experience? Maybe those are the same things.
I think so.
But
yeah.
it also may be content based, which I think we've got both of those things we have a great start on, which is great. And I think pushing both of those things forward makes it true that we would be doing a service to YouTube and or Pine Tree, and ideally to any of the viewers at the same time.
Yeah.
It may be worth and that falls into the same category of, streamers from other networks being invited onto HIGHER.ZIP, as far as, building legitimacy for one, for two, bringing in viewers that we normally wouldn't have. It does stray a little bit from the idea that the full focus is supporting the higher network directly, but it's maybe doing that in an auxiliary way. Maybe I'm just talking in circles right now, but
no, I think that honestly it opens up even a even bigger question to me a little bit, which is like, I guess we've thought about this project as like being a solitary live stream with other pre-recorded things in the periphery, and then bringing on other people or opening it up to anyone to be able to stream at any time kind of changes that dynamic. I'm not saying for better or for worse. I'm just saying that it does kind of change that dynamic, because then I could see a world after that where we have multiple live streaming channels at once, and then in that way, maybe we then are competing with YouTube.
If that was the scenario, yeah, it would feel like we are competing with YouTube, which sounds redacted to do that.
Right.
But at the same time, we have to understand that we are in a very niche ecosystem, I'll say. Like, we wouldn't be competing with YouTube in a way that like we're competing with Mr. Beast.
Right.
Where maybe it's a competitive product, but it's for a different user base.
It is niched in, yeah.
You're not going on YouTube right now to watch anything that's going down on Farcaster.
Right.
Or crypto Twitter for that matter. But
I think part of this is like growing the network, right? Because that's viewers, that's creators, both. I think, yeah, that would be the main question for me. Like, how do you get more people here loving higher? Because then all the other questions are like, you can literally just have this HIGHER.ZIP, and people love going to higher events in real life. So of course they're gonna, they want to see what the Higher Network is doing across the world because they know the Higher Network does cool shit. And they know there's a home for live higher media on HIGHER.ZIP.
Yeah, that's a good point, John. It makes me rethink approach a little bit, which is thinking about viewership without having anything real to view besides us talking about ideas is a distraction, right? You know, it's like marketing first. And that, I guess that's maybe not fair. It's not like that, but obviously because we want to build a product that can be used in the ways we want it to be used, but it's chicken and egg. Like, do we want video content to be flushed out and beautiful and enjoyable before we push into functionality that currently can't be used because nobody will use it? You know, so it's maybe a double-edged sword there.
I think there's I definitely think building out the experience that people arrive into is 100% worth, investing time and energy into.
I agree with that.
So that is definitely, even if we have like I show speed to a stream, if people come on the website and they might just go off the stream and be like, oh, I'll just watch the next Twitch one because, this HIGHER.ZIP website it wasn't really doing it for me. So I definitely think, we've started in a good way in terms of like, what we're really doing is we're building foundations and infrastructure whilst also thinking long term, which is like the best way to do it. Like we're thinking about the eventualities whilst also working on the concrete practicalities at the same time. I think the next practicality is like, all right, how do you invite people into the Higher Network so that they want to be part of what's happening? And I've been thinking in terms of like what I could do. So I was thinking of doing a stream because I did this open air. The first project I did for Higher was open air, which was the meditation thing. I could do the same thing again where I stream meditation stuff, but because it's called open air, people can. The idea I had in my mind was a higher gated Discord that I stream the Discord video, kind of like we stream the Google Meets video. And it's open air in terms of like I do a bit of meditation at the beginning, and then people can join me in conversation because it's kind of like open air. So that kind of thing I think would be cool, like inviting people into doing stuff. And then the other side of things that I think is quite higher coded is actually I've been talking too much right now. I need to start again. Two things I think Higher does for people. One is it educates people, and two, like kind of educates people in terms like, oh, you can do this, and then also invites people to take action. So those two things as like content pillars I think are pretty cool. Like if you got educational stuff, it's like here's how to use like the latest AI models to make some cool shit, and then we also get content in the process. That's pretty awesome. And I think marrying those two things of like education and action might be the way. Might be the way. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I don't really enjoy like the no shade to GM Podcaster or the other like weekly streams, but I don't care about crypto news. Like I'm not there. Right. I'm not here for that. I'm here for like people and to like learn more basically. And to do cool stuff.
Right.
That's good perspective. I think we probably all agree on that. This can't turn into a good crypto news stream.
Nah, there's enough of that. Yeah, there's already enough of that. And I also think like maybe this applies to news in general, but there is like an inherent filter that you acquire by receiving your news through the people in your community. Like, instead of listening to literally everything that's out there, the news you're getting from is like, oh, you just told me about this new thing. Okay, now that's news to me, you know. That has kind of like this side effect of, I guess what John is referring to is like the community and the people. Like, part of it is like, that's, I'm, I guess, unintentionally like receiving my news that way, you know. And I think there's enough people already doing crypto news that like we would kind of end up regurgitating what they said, right? Like, what, there's like Bankless, 11 a.m. Seed Club, and these are all good. I think really good. As like people who I think are doing really well, using the news thing. You know what I mean? It's like they've already nailed it. You know, it just doesn't feel like we could bring anything new to that vertical.
No, and it is the higher aspect that, you know, we've all been running on for the last eight months is, you know, aiming higher and creation.
Right.
It's not analysis or, you know, it's not trading either. It's not
Right.
speculation. It's personal. It's community. It's, like you said, John, taking action. And so I think the focus, it's maybe obvious to me that focusing on how to showcase, for one, like what these HZ missions will be, having a structure for broadcasting that, maybe, in my opinion, top of the list, because now we have 25 videos. Now what? Obviously, we have simple ideas on how to do that, but how can we do that in the most compelling way? That's maybe the challenge. Mixed in with open air, or you name it, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. I mean, and look, not to bring my point up again, but the idea could also be like, you know, I'm talking to you, Seed Club. If you want to live stream on HIGHER.ZIP every Friday, join in. You know what I mean? You can tap in. You know what I mean? GM Forecaster, if you want to live stream on a steady schedule, come to HIGHER.ZIP. You know what I mean? This is part of the goal, I would say, you know. And in conjunction with that, we are making the website better and better in terms of like the feature list and like what capabilities and what makes it, or what will make it unique for you to watch it on our website versus existing platforms like YouTube.
Agreed. Very much agreed. On that point, tomorrow I'm talking to Toady Hawk with Betterment to see like what something like you just described may look like, with somebody that feels higher aligned, that is making moves, you know, it has a real product, has reason to broadcast. And I hope that there's opportunities like that just everywhere. I mean,
Right.
I feel like on Farcaster there's enough individuals that are building things that want to share it, that align with the higher ethos, even if they're not wearing book and green hats, you know what I mean? To where we can help each other out. Come on the stream. Maybe we'll airdrop higher to viewers that you bring in, or vice versa. You airdrop your token to viewers that we bring in. And, you know, I guess the possibilities there are also kind of endless, but to the original point, there would need to be some sort of functionality that is compelling, unless we were offering these folks numbers, viewership numbers,
Right.
from a marketing perspective, it's either you need viewers to offer or functionality that's
fiction,
novel
yeah.
and interesting.
That's exactly what you made me think of by saying all that, is like part of the return on investment on the functionality aspect. If someone who is a streamer or who has experience streaming or has an idea for a show comes and sees the features on the website, that in turn will feed into them being part of the programming.
Yes. Big time.
And then if the functionality is that good, right? You know, I feel like there always has to be an exchange. Like obviously we're early in terms of like where we are, but actually we've got very strong foundations in that the higher network is well liked. The higher token has got decent size liquidity. It's not dead token. I mean, you know, in the grand scheme of things, there are much more dead tokens.
Right.
And so like I've been wondering in my mind, like if somebody wants to stream on here, say someone on Farcaster wants to stream a DJ set or do like a Sunday morning R&B kind of whatever it is, do we ask them for donation to the perm pool for one of the slots? Do we say like there's 7 slots across the week or there's 6 slots across the weekend?
Right.
And the slots are for the top 6 donators to the perm pool at any period in time. So you could kind of bump people off a slot if you decide to donate like more.
Mm-hmm.
Or conversely, if we're going to be working with people to do kind of like missions or like kind of to drive attention to the higher token, I wouldn't want to be just giving away our higher reserves to kind of someone else just because they've built a cool app. Like they have to. We're doing public goods work on behalf of the high network. You know, it's not. I think people will see opportunity in what we're doing because we have the backing of a awesome network of people. There has been over a year of fees being accumulated that we've just been granted the privilege of, you know, receiving fees from, and you know, 7.6 million higher to distribute. I think people will see opportunity there. The betterment thing, I don't know enough about it, but I don't know what we would be driving people to. Because from what I understand, it's kind of like a incentives thing where you put up some number of tokens and then people will do a certain action to get those tokens. You know, if Tony Hawk is like, yeah, we'll divert like 10 ETH to the perm pool. Okay, yeah, take 2 million higher. That's all good with me. Because we'll make that back eventually. But if it's we just want your higher tokens to give your higher token and the higher network more exposure at the moment. It's like exposure for what? Like what are we doing at the moment? We're still at the beginning of HIGHER.ZIP. I think if we had like 6 shows on a week and we could say, cool, have 1 million tokens and we want your users to come and check out the HIGHER.ZIP website.
Right.
That's a different story. But at the moment, we're not pointing anyone anywhere. We're just like getting the word higher up there.
Agreed. And that's why I feel like an obvious focus to me is sorting out how we are amplifying higher creativity through the stream first and foremost, because that is why we would want viewers. That's kind of, in my opinion, and obviously with other reasons weighted differently, but that's what the stream is for initially. Is higher creates something, higher gets broadcasted. Ideally there's viewers, you know, and so to your point, John, bringing viewers to a broadcast that's not broadcasting higher yet it's the crate before, or the cart before the horse, really.
So then, you know, the partnerships become kind of more important where we're like, okay, Higher Athletics, you have you're gonna, if you're gonna start run clubs, we're gonna give you higher to start those run clubs. And our next mission is we want videos from people running. Combining all those things into one thing. Both the content creation and the activity incentivization. Marrying those two is like, that feels juicy.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah,
It's
definitely. I mean, not to mention, we spoke about the feature list of the site itself, right? Like, the first thing that pops into my mind is like the chat capability, right?
yeah,
Something to make the content you're viewing a little bit more, just that much more exciting, you know?
totally. Because it does bring into question, right? Like with the higher athletics example, and I know it's just an example, but who and why would I go on to higher.zip to watch people run? Maybe.
What does a
Maybe
running
I
show
would.
even look like? Yeah.
Right. Maybe I would, but I've never done that before. It would have to be compelling in a fresh way. It can't just be a compilation of iPhone, GoPro. Well, maybe it can be. I don't want to say it can't be, because maybe it just can. But initially, my response is, why would anyone watch? And I think that's a big focus here in the near future is what are we telling people to join and view? Because I mean, I watch
Well, that's
YouTube videos all day with fucking DJ beats, and I don't necessarily even care. It's aesthetic enough, and I'm okay. But like, well, yeah, what's our angle there? I think we need to nail that down like immediately. I think that to me that's top of list.
yeah. So then that to me sounds like we need to develop a pitching process. How will people pitch to us? And not even that, like a rubric in which we analyze what we're going to bring on to our programming, right? How many hours are in a week? 168 or something like that. So we have 168 hours. Today, this stream is going on 3 hours, so
Yeah,
we've
right.
taken 168 minus 3, 165, right? Let's say we do 1 hour a week. So we have 167 remaining hours,
Right.
right? Then to John's point earlier is like, how many slots do we want to break 167 hours into? Do we want to do 1 hour slots, 2 hour slots? Like, what are we talking here, right? Then let's say if we do 167 divided by 2 hour slots, that's 83 possible slots a week, 83 and a half possible slots a week. So then now we have the goal, which is we have 83 slots. We need 83 shows to fill those slots, to fill a weekly schedule. And how are we moving closer to the 83? We've already named higher athletics. We've already named a few in this call, and obviously we could have a whole separate call to talk about like what that even looks like and who we're thinking about, and that'll cover like the outreach portion of it. But then similarly enough, the other side of the coin is the features, like the things on the site that will make people be like, oh shit, they got a really cool little chat thing, let me reach out to them. Like then we have inbound kind of like people who like already have or have had ideas for shows for ages and now are kind of like finally found a platform that they're willing to publish that show on. I don't know if that's the right approach. I'm kind of spitballing at the same time.
It's not wrong. I mean, it's definitely not wrong. It makes me wonder. Well, okay, to back up a second, HZ001. So where do these go? Is it the winners? Currently it's just that exceedingly average cloud loop that I made. you know, does this replace, do we start building the replacement for that cloud loop with each of these challenges? And that's kind of just always looping. And if that's the case, do we source beats from the community or a beat from one individual that loops? Or, yeah, and that's all from the perspective of higher network amplification.
Right. Right. And something that came up during HZ001 also is like the remixability or like the music licensing of it as well. Which is
Mm-hmm.
which that suggestion kind of formulated a feature improvement, I guess, as well, which is like, how could we tag, at least on the website, how could we tag certain videos and let the viewer know, like, you're allowed to remix this or you're not allowed to remix this, you know? And then in HZ002 is one of the, you know, one of the requirements for posting that the video be CCO or use CCO content, you know? If you're going to use music, it has to be like public domain. You know what I mean? Like we have, I mean, like, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, that is the process of growing and evolving. Like we just learned that from HZ001 and now we kind of apply it to the next, you know? And maybe the fact of the matter is that like we keep doing that in the form of HZ00 whatever number until we've completely solidified what that pitching process is to the general audience.
Yes. Agreed. And we've had, yeah. Agreed. And it brings up that other question of, you know, how focused / how much direction do you want to give, and how much continuity do you want to create without stifling creativity,
right,
in a way that the end result is something that anybody would want to watch. I think that's 3 hurdles right there, which, and maybe for the time being, it's okay that we're just experimenting and the right approach will just become obvious once, you know, well, we didn't know we were going to even get 25 videos.
right.
So now, like, everything kind of changed.
Yeah.
Instead of getting 3, we got 25. Possibilities are different. Maybe 002, something different changes in a way that we're like, oh, we can do this in 003. And then 004 and 005 starts to refine to where, you know, that the HIGHER.ZIP website isn't really being utilized until 005. Not sure.
Right. Yeah.
But I feel like some strategery, if not a lot of strategery,
A lot. Yeah. I think a lot.
is required here.
Yeah.
Here on out. Because we've proven that people will create.
Right.
Which is epic. Massive. If we didn't prove that, kind of like everything we've been working up towards, or at least the stream, would have been cooked, to be honest. We proved that people will create and want to create and can and did create dope shit.
Yeah.
Turning that into a viewer experience is arguably the hard part, but the fun part.
Right.
I think there's two.
Go ahead.
I think of like 2 streams. So there's the shows and the streams, which you could imagine people like. You could imagine, like, well done live shows alongside, you know, kind of radio DJ, kind of like watching someone DJ. That's kind of like live shows. And then you have what we've just started with HZ001, which is like the the non-live content. And if I look at what we've got so far, we've got a lot of stuff that potentially could be like visuals for music. And then we've also got the beginnings of like maybe what could be like longer form content. Like if S.G built a whole story,
Right.
like I wouldn't mind that being built into like a 6-hour loop, and then at some point in time that story just plays and then it returns to music afterwards. So actually no, there's 3 buckets. There's the live shows, the non-live content, and then the sounds or music. Because if music is playing behind the non-live content, in a way we will be remixing or even like compiling the non-live content into something that's kind of watchable, fun at the same time as music playing. So we want to collect, if to make it 3 buckets, we want to collect people who would do shows, people who create video, which would have like subcategories of like some of this is bumper and some of this is like, oh, it's a 3-minute motivational video, 3-minute narrative video. And then there's the sounds that would go behind the non-narrative video content.
Yes.
And be programmed effectively by us, meaning like it would be up to us to control when that plays, essentially. Because I know one of the seeds of the ideas of what we started with is lo-fi, right? Like the lo-fi girl or chilled cow, which is effectively a looping animation with video playing on a long loop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I almost think that now what we've been talking about here is almost treats that as like the stopgap to like for that airing now until we have this programming filled, essentially.
Well, the two ideas, the way you speak about it, John, and this is what I've been wondering myself over the past few weeks, is that what you just outlined to me sounds more like TV channels as opposed to one congruent 24/7 stream. Like I go to channel 2, and now, I've got S.G looping forever. And I go to channel 3, and, I've got the story that Anna started with the light beam. And then I go to 4, and I've got maybe just a still image of one of the higher FM HBs and a nice track behind it. But I guess my broader point there is it seems like the two ideas, one is multiple channels and maybe a lot of channels, and 2 is fit all of this into one stream with different air times. And maybe they both exist. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't really thinking of channels. I was thinking it's all one continuous stream 24/7.
Right.
And that at the moment we're in the process of creating some kind of long loop. Like whether that loop fills a whole 7 days or not isn't clear to me, but we're in the process of creating a long loop. And some of the bits of the loop will be music and cool video. And I was just suggesting that some parts of the loop could be like narrative content. And we could set missions that lead us towards either or. And then once we've got that loop going, or some sizable loop going, which we already kind of do have, once we've got a loop going that feels more created collectively, then you're adding additional shows to go around that. So shows are almost like, it's like a cafe with events. It's like the cafe always has some music going on. plus some other. I mean, it will always has some music going on, and then has some like scheduled events where you can also be there and cool shit will happen. And the chat is the cafe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think ultimately, like if there was any channels, it would be probably eventually, if there were multiple channels, it would be two. One where the live stream is going, and the other just being the looping content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I think maybe we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, I think there's multiple things actually. We are saying the same thing, and I think at the same time, I think one builds into the next one. Right? Like we focus on the looping content aspect now because we've obviously got the HZ challenges going, missions going, and most people I think are more open to having the short form video ideas, and collecting music from multiple people might be easier that way as well, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then kind of mirroring what John is saying is like, then eventually we have like actual shows that are programmed at specific moments that come into that.
Yes. Okay, yes. I think we're on the same page there.
Honestly, and I honestly think we've said this before, maybe I'm forgetting, but I think we've said this before actually.
Mm-hmm. We have had this conversation before. I think it's me that
we're having a deeper conversation about it is what's happening. I think before we just kind of like mentioned it a little bit, but I don't think we've had it as in depth of a conversation as we're having now about the same thing.
I think what's useful about this conversation is now that we can think about what HZ002 will be,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually communicating with specific creators that were part of this, like if you could go to AC, for instance, and say, look, we loved that. That was awesome. And we want to see how it ends, or we want to see the next chapter at least. Or this, that it gives us directions of like what kind of content we want to get next. And you can kind of start separating it into buckets. Like I think HC002 being like music and sounds, and like, that sounds interesting. Like I will probably get some people who make their own music and some people who buy Suno subscriptions and start doing shit on their own.
Right.
There's we're starting to figure out what are our content buckets in a way, which can help us shape the next missions and also shape partnerships, also shape like how we communicate with people, basically.
Yes. Big time. We are on the same page. There is a part of me, or in the back of my mind, thinking about the structure in the most approachable way, and approachable meaning very doable from our perspective, as well as very watchable from the viewer's perspective, simplified by what exists already on YouTube, which is a lot of, and I'll speak from my experience, I'll watch videos that are, I think a lot of them are AI music, DJ sets, and then they just have a still image that zooms in and out for fucking 3 hours, So long story short, I'm wondering, okay, can we take that super simple approach, which is HZ002 is submit an image, HZ03 is submit a beat, and we pick 4 images that could create 4 videos that just loop forever. It's like a 3-minute beat or whatever that loops, and then you'd have different channels, but down the road maybe those combine into the stream. I don't know, I'm spitballing here. The approach being simplified, get something that is visually and audibly pleasing with the least amount of lift from the community and from our perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like
Wait,
the
so what's the
idea.
suggestion?
Oh, sorry. Go
Ask
ahead.
for still.
Say again?
I missed a bit of that because Genuine Jack was messaging me. He was asking if HC002 was going to be asking for whole pilot episodes, 25 to 30 minutes long. And
That's
maybe a bit.
Is he watching us right now?
I think so.
Oh, no wonder. I was like, damn, that's right on point. We're literally talking about that right now.
That's legendary.
Yeah.
Basically, I was saying, is there a way to simplify? I know we started with video, which makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, we can also say loop, make it loop.
That's what I've been wondering. Next one is 11 plus seconds loop.
Loop.
Or whatever. Or maybe it's 3 seconds loop. Who cares? The lo-fi girl is what, like 5 seconds?
Probably, yeah.
Maybe less. Doesn't matter. And this perspective is built upon the idea that let's get something watchable on the site now, which maybe looks like different channels, which maybe on YouTube looks like different videos. And that's a start, right? Because the start we're at now, which is with the 001 videos, is I don't necessarily know currently how to combine really any of them into something that's compelling enough for somebody to watch. It's like almost a little bit too, they're like a little bit too developed, but not developed enough to be like a video. They're too developed to be like a simple loop and not developed enough to be like a long form video. So we're kind of sitting somewhere in between. But also tell me to fuck off if like this like lo-fi girl framing is maybe just wrong. But that is constantly in the back of my mind.
No, I think that's right. I think you are because so say we go this route of getting loopable content that can be more lo-fi girl-less. Then we ask for this stuff. Then we might ask for music next. The question for me is like, what would we do with? I still think there's something cool about narrative video, and maybe there's a space where we say, all right, look, this is kind of like our, or they are bumpers even. They could be bumpers either side of stuff. So that's also a situation we could have. But we could also, another way to use high would be to do bounties, to say like, right, we want you to use these videos. And because it's building on that Agrimony remix idea, if we get the permission, we can say, remix this shit into something like that goes with this music or goes with this higher FM audio or goes with whatever it is. This is all coming from Jack has been talking to me. He says hi.
What's up, Jack?
It's cool. Maybe, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Conversations with him is making me think bounties is also a way to do things. If we want something specific, say we want the next episode of this particular 15-second video, we can start doing bounties and stuff that hone in on specifics that don't have like a time limit on them. Because HZ002 will have a time limit on it. Whereas if we just have a bounty, we can have it kind of open-ended. And then when somebody kind of fulfills like something that we want, then we can say, all right, you win. Good, cool. And they're always available. People, if in the meantime, if people have already done their HZ003 submission, or it's a music thing and they're like, I don't really do music, but I could, re-edit a video. There's more ways for people to get involved. It's like we can say, we've got this mission going and there's also a bounties page where you can go and these are specific asks that we currently have for kind of curating media.
For like very specific direction, come to the bounties. For creative expression of your very own, we have these missions running, and the winners of the missions, maybe used for the future bounty for someone to create audio. Yeah. Okay, I'm here. I think that makes a lot of sense.
But I think you're right on HC002. If we want to build out like the lo-fi aspect, then looping videos, and then at the same time you could have like a bounty that's like create a higher narrative video over like a 90-second narrative video, and that gives S.G and Anna, and maybe even like I don't know, Will DS could probably cut up his. I don't know where that skateboarding guy eventually ends up. I think there's something cool there, having two sort of things running at the same time. Maybe bounties are better suited to narrative video, and missions are better suited to looping stuff.
So I think that I think our thoughts are combining here, honestly, because one thing that was in my head literally just now, right before you said that, is actually, as you were saying it, is kind of like the categorization almost. And mind you, this is a raw thought, so maybe I'm not going to explain it right, but I'm going to try anyway. Where we have missions and we have like almost mission categories, I suppose, right? Where like we have a set of missions that are like bumper related. We have a set of missions that are pilot related. And then we have a set of missions that are like, and we can create an infinite amount of mission categories.
Mm-hmm.
And each of those will be aligned to a certain category of media that we want. Right now, what we've already done, and it seems like a great preparation for this case, is that we named the first mission HZ001. Therefore, now, for example, any bumper mission that we create could be 0 as the first 0 as like the leading number to what the bumper. So you could go 001, 002, all the way up to 099. Therefore, then you could use 101 as the category for pilot episodes, let's say. Then we can use 201 as the category for any music submissions. And therefore, that will allow us on a larger scale to then run multiple missions at the same time, where we could run 201 and 103 at the same time, with people participating in different ones at different times,
I think that's compelling. Yeah. I was just wondering along those same structures too. I was thinking about what that means, like, for reward distribution, and it maybe looks like there's no timeline, because I was like, okay, then you still need a timeline, but that maybe doesn't work fluidly. So it's like submit. It's basically a call for artists, basically.
Right.
It's 102 is open, 203 is open. If we select yours, every one we select is, $50K higher. So it's like you're not getting $8 for submitting anything, but if you're selected, you're getting $100. So that's compelling too. I think it's maybe a little bit, maybe introduces some muddy waters as far as logistics and organization goes. Not anything that we can't tackle, but it's probably where this goes.
It's to run multiple missions at the same time, essentially.
Yeah, it's probably where this ends up. I don't know if it ends up there in the next month or 6 months.
Right.
I'm not sure. I don't think it ends up there in the very, very near future, but it probably looks like a bulletin board.
Exactly. There it is. And that, I think, waters down, like, not to water it down, but it goes down to like, what's a feature of the site? It's a fucking bulletin board of fucking creative challenges that you could do.
And that's compelling in a way that's like, go look at shit if you're a viewer, or go to the bulletin board if you're a creator, and donate over here if you're a real G.
Yeah.
It's
Which is
basic.
dope.
Yeah, we're building out a bounty page at that point,
Yeah.
which seems to make sense. I still do, stepping back just slightly, I still do think whatever we can do for the next 2 months to simplify in a way that creativity can be broadcasted in a, I don't want to say simple again, but creativity can be broadcasted in a digestible and attractive manner that's not too avant-garde as we get started.
Right.
Like, it makes me think of like, in the back of my mind when we talk about all these things is like everything that Blank Space has ever created. He has created just beautiful graphics. He has a log of them. There's too many to count. And it's like, that would be a starting point. Beautiful graphic. How can we turn that into viewership? How can we turn that into something that somebody is going to minimize? Maybe they're going to minimize the mini app and just listen to Sheik Bang's beat that's over top of a Blank Space graphic. It's like, that's very digestible from our perspective, as well as it's not groundbreaking in any way, but it's familiar, maybe in a positive light, because it's approachable.
Right.
I don't want to dumb things down by any means. I don't want it to be stale or stagnant, but that approach comes from the angle of developing some sort of library that makes sense right off the bat before we get to HC 0011,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that what's most exciting to you right now? Like music's pretty exciting to me if we got music.
Music is exciting to me. Yes, I would say yes. I guess that kind of comes from the perspective that Higher has created already up to this point so many beautiful visuals, 2D, not motion graphics, but stagnant, that can already be turned into, like right now, can be turned into looping video if we had music. So to your point, John, the music aspect, in my opinion, is maybe the most exciting, maybe most necessary, and maybe most foreign to Higher outside of Sheik Bang's Chatra and now Cactus Lockwood. Because it also, like, a lot of that comes from the idea that we
could just go audio, like I'm imagining.
Yes.
Other things.
We absolutely could, but on the other side of it, it's like, well, it's going to play as a video. So, you may as well put Dimitri's latest camera with the horse on there, like, and maybe you're just done with that for now. You've got a minute and a half looping beat, and it's fucking good. And maybe you're just done there. And then you do another one, and it's, a Blank Space image with, maybe a beat from Chatra or whoever wants to submit. it seems like path of least resistance. But yeah, the most exciting to me is at this point getting something on higher.zip that somebody will have playing for longer than 2 minutes or 1 minute. Whether that turns into them minimizing it and it's just background bops, not sure, or if it turns into like something that somebody puts onto their TV while they're, on the couch working on their laptop. Something that is compelling enough that lasts longer than, I can imagine like if we combine all of the videos that we love from 001, it's like, I don't know if anybody wants to watch that. I maybe don't even want to watch that because it's not each video is great on its own, but like you put it together and it's some Frankenstein thing, or maybe that's what's cool. I'm not sure.
Well, no, I think we just had a very specific idea behind HZ001, which was like the bumper thing, right? And to me, like, we don't have the shows to play the bumpers after.
Right.
So.
And we don't have reason for shows to play or to come to higher.zip.
Exactly.
So there needs to be some sort of middle ground, which is a start.
Yeah.
And it might not be anything that I just said, but from my perspective, that seems to be the simplest, most approachable angle.
Yeah.
I'm obviously very, very open to any other sort of ideas, but this also comes from a little bit of there's a lot of work if you're going to combine videos from different individuals in a crowdsourced environment to where I don't know if it's worth it as a time investment. I hope that doesn't sound so shitty, but honestly, yeah, I'm considering it from the angle of how can we best utilize our time and get something that is at least enjoyable. And maybe it is just a loop of S.G with audio.
No, I think you're right. So I'm eating. I love it. Personally, when it's a lo-fi stream, I'm not watching the visuals. So the music's kind of the more exciting part. I think it's cool to have collectively sourced visuals for sure. I just think in a way, I don't want to do a disservice to people who put in effort into things so far.
No.
But I want to be clear that there are some bumpers there that we want to have outside of shows already, I would say. And then also, I can imagine Cactus's video being the beginning of a compilation.
Just about to say that. Yep.
And I can imagine S.G's and Anna's being the beginning of like 5-minute narrative epics. So I just want to, obviously it makes sense to push towards something that we can say, oh, this was collectively built and you can watch this all the time. But personally for me, it's not exciting. Not to say we shouldn't do it, but also I think it'd be cool to maybe have something to talk to some of these people about and say like, all right, this is a bumper we think we'll use. Thank you for this. This is awesome. More of this in the future would be great. To the people who've started narrative stuff, why not throw bookable bounties for narrative stories? That's like 100K higher for 1 5-minute narrative epic or 3-minute narrative story about higher, which can run at the same time. But like That's why I was talking before in terms of having the HZ missions different from the bounties, because the HZ missions can be like regular things that you do on a cycle, whereas the bounties can be open. We don't have to get round to them, neither does anyone else. But given that people have already started some narrative things, if we make a bounty specifically for them and they get round to it in their own time, there's no rush for them. We get a cool piece of content we can stick into the loop, and hopefully maybe some other people would be like, cool, I would actually do a narrative thing. So I would go with the loops. I would also go with music, and I would also go with maybe some open bounties for some specific things that people have already started.
So does that lead you to the bulletin board idea, kind of just right off the bat?
No, I think HG002 and HG003. Then we've hit all three of our buckets. We've hit loopable content. We've hit bumper / narrative / everything content, and we've hit music content. So if 002 is loops and 003 is music, then after that we've got space. And hopefully by then we also have like, look, we've done something here. Here's a lo-fi stream that's all collectively put together. We'll have that complete by then.
Makes sense. I'm aligned. I'm aligned there, so no dogs.
I somehow lost a cucumber.
What was that?
I don't know what happened.
Did you say cucumber?
Are you hungry, dude?
Look, I made this meat, you want to see?
I think you're. Is he just breaking up for me? Do you?
Oh, am I breaking up?
I think.
Oh, John just said cucumber. He's eating a cucumber. I thought that's what he said.
He broke up for me. I didn't hear it all. I didn't. The sentence cut off.
Cucumber.
Okay. Did you just say cucumber again?
You're hungry, dude. You're hungry.
Okay, well, shit.
His internet.
Europa. Normally it's my internet that's bad, so.
I did get a notification saying my internet connection is bad, like 7 seconds ago.
Yeah, I think we're all cooked. I probably should get off. Actually, I have to get off, but this is excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna write up what I think HC2 and HC3 are.
Okay.
And we can discuss, and obviously edit, change everything, but from my perspective, and then we can reconvene and be like, that's stupid or that's good or whatever.
Yeah, not to mention the bigger umbrella that are all under is that there has to be kind of like a combined effort to like seeking or tracking permanent programming or semi-permanent programming, as well as building the 168 hours of looping content / music that will play while, and maybe at this, not that it's the same time, not it has to be at the same time, but like, you know, to build up to that.
Makes sense.
Cool.
Okay. Well, fuck. The can of worms is just bigger and bigger, which is fun
That's a good problem, I guess. Yeah.
and exciting. But yes, well, let's just clap for everybody that submitted to HC001 and be excited that everybody in the party or enough folks fuck with HZ in a way that they just are going to transfer those loose funds. It's gas.
For sure.
Massive. Fucking massive. And thank you to anybody watching. Bigly. It's exciting. We never thought anybody would watch these.
Yeah. 3 hour, 40-minute stream just now.
Yeah, Jack, if you're still watching, you're crazy, bro. I love you.
Did you say cucumber?
Shut up, bro.
No, I'm hungry, dude. That's why.
I know. I need to get lunch.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Well,
All right,
good
guys.
shit. And then we'll chat throughout the week, but see your faces next Thursday.
See you guys.